All right. Well, we welcome those of you tuning in a little bit early here tonight on audiosportsonline.com. I'm Rob Kendall. Lex Zorn will join me here in just a little bit for Avon football. We will have the home games brought to you this year. We'll only be broadcasting the home games here on audiosportsonline.com. And, of course, we'll address all the things that are going on with the Avon football across the county. Just a very different year for high school football in the state of Indiana. And as I said, we'll get all that to you here as we go throughout our broadcast tonight. Both teams are out warming up on the field. We got about 24 minutes up on the clock, and we'll bring you the Avon dance team here, band activity, everything that's going to be going on this evening. We'll have it for you right here on audiosportsonline.com. So we're giving our folks a little bit of a chance to get in here, and then we're going to start our actual live broadcast here in about 4 minutes or so. So if you're getting in here early, thanks for joining us. Sit back, relax, really enjoy the action tonight. Avon football taking on the Ben Davis Giants right here on your home for Avon football, audiosportsonline.com. Again, we welcome those of you tuning in here tonight on Audio Sports Online. Getting in a little early. Rob Kendall along with Lex Zorn. We're going to start our broadcast here in about 2.5 minutes. You can see the teams warming up, getting our video stream fired up for all our pregame festivities tonight. And we will be bringing you the action of Avon football against the Ben Davis Giants here on audiosportsonline.com. 2 minutes till our broadcast. All right, we've got 1 minute coming up until our broadcast. 1 minute. Stick around. Coming up next. All right. Well, good evening, fans. Welcome in here on Audio Sports Online. I'm Rob Kendall, along with Lex Zorn. Another exciting year of Avon football. And yes, this is our 15th year of bringing you Avon football, the official broadcast home of the Avon Orioles here on Audio Sports Online. So pleased to be with you tonight as your Avon Orioles will take on the Ben Davis Giants in the home opener of the 2020 campaign. Of course, it was a campaign many of us didn't know if we were going to have, and thankfully we are. The Avon Orioles Week 1 loss out on the road at Lawrence North. The Ben Davis Giants a Week 1 loss against the Brownsburg Bulldogs at home. And, Leck, we were talking before the broadcast tonight. You made a great point. Shows how good these programs actually are and the programs they played, because despite the two losses between these two teams, both of these teams remain in the top 10 in the Indiana High School Athletic Association polls.
Yeah, that's right. Entering this game tonight, Avon ranked at number 9. Ben Davis, 9-time state champions, ranked at number 10. Ben Davis, the longtime powerhouse. Avon has been a good program for decades. Finally, in the last decade, they've emerged as one of the elite, probably top 5 or 6 programs in the state. The one thing missing on their resume now is the state championship. Last year, they had a good chance to do it. They finished the regular season undefeated. They were ranked number 1 in the AP poll for the last 8 weeks of the season. However, they had a couple of surprisingly close wins late in the regular season and then finally flamed out in the first round of the playoffs against cross-county rival Brownsburg. This year, the Orioles, hoping to redeem themselves and run the tables, get that state championship, got off to a rough start last week on the northeast side of Indianapolis at Lawrence North, losing by a score of 62-34. The Orioles did do a lot of things on offense, led by senior quarterback and Mr. Football candidate Henry Hessen. However, they struggled very badly on rushing defense, giving up nearly 10 yards a rush to the rushing heavy Wildcats. Tonight, the Orioles tried to get back on track against the Ben Davis Giants, who last week had another rough start to the season, losing at Brownsburg by a score of 38-7. Tonight, these two teams, as they tune up for conference play, which starts a week from tonight, they want to get that monkey off their back. They don't want to go into conference play at 0-2.
All right, so just a little bit of what's going to be going on this year. As you know, every year until this year, we've brought you all the Avon football games, home, away, postseason. We have done it, and it's been an honor to do that, but obviously because of public health-related concerns, each school is responsible for their own home broadcast this year, all across the state of Indiana, for those who have broadcast, in an effort to try to combat the spread of coronavirus. So this year we will be bringing you the home games for sure, so 4 broadcasts, and then we'll see what happens as we get into the postseason. Again, thanks to Brad Holsinger, Lance Larkey, the entire athletic staff here at Avon High School. We worked right up until the deadline to get this ready to go. Usually we kind of know what we're going to be doing and get this broadcast page out to you in July or June. But obviously, because of public health concerns, it took a while to come together. But thanks to Brad Holsinger, Lance Larkey, the entire Avon athletic staff for making it possible for us to come out and bring you high school football, the home games this fall. And again, we'll keep you posted. If things change, if the coronavirus spread gets better, if they feel like it's safer for us to go out and do these games on the road, everything's in flux right now, as many of you know, and we're just very thrilled to be able to be out here tonight. One of the things that the Avon High School athletic staff has asked us to express to those of you watching on our broadcast tonight and throughout the season is that if you are one of the lucky folks who is able to get a ticket to attend a game in person, please make sure to bring and wear your mask. Please make sure to wear and bring and wear your mask to the Avon High School football games, because again, their goal, they want to have more people out here in the future, and obviously we're trying to combat the spread of coronavirus. So they have asked that if you are one of those folks who does get a ticket, please make sure to wear and bring your mask if you attend an Avon High School football game. And if you're a visiting parent who happens to see this as well, they would ask that you do that in attendance for Avon High School football. And boy, again, a little bit different pregame show than we normally do, a little, especially getting off the air here tonight, off the ground tonight. I want to give credit to the Avon athletic staff, too, because they've done a ton of work in terms of getting this facility ready for a safe environment for people to attend an Avon football game. And that includes, Leck, what has to have been hours and hours. We were talking about this before we went on the air when we were testing everything, getting ready and set up. The amount of work it took to mark these seats in order to have the proper social distancing, et cetera, to make it a safe environment that they were comfortable with the people to come in. This has been just a ton of work to get a home football game ready that could have fans in the stands.
Yeah, certainly I give a lot of credit to the staff here at Avon, and I'm not surprised, by the way. You know, this is my 9th season here with AudioSportsOnline.com. Avon, obviously, one of our long-term clients, and every time I've been out here, which has been dozens of times over the years now for a wide variety of sports, I've always been very impressed with the staff here, not only with the way that they maintain a winning athletic program across the board in all sports, especially here in football, but also just the way that they have just the best facilities and a gracious, welcoming staff. And, you know, it's one of my favorite places at which to broadcast because everything here is always so smooth and ready to go. So no surprise that the fine people here at Avon are doing their best to adjust to the times and not only keep the athletic program running, but keep it, you know, safe for the fans to attend, you know, which is something that's so very important. You know, these last 5 months, so many things that we love have been taken away from us, and I'm just so thankful that we have high school football and that we have a safe environment here for the fans to enjoy it.
Yeah, so one of the things you're going to be seeing, and you're going to be seeing it right now, in fact, is the Avon dance team heading out onto the field. And again, a little bit different process for us, just some behind the scenes. We're working with the athletic department directly this year, normally work with Coach Bless and the football program itself. And one of the things they've asked us to do is try to bring some of the things that we don't normally bring out here. Look, we're focused normally on calling the football games, but obviously there are parents of the dance team, parents of various other activities that take place at the football games. So we'll be bringing those to you in the pregame show each week and the halftime show and trying to comment on those and make sure you see those. And right now you can see the Avon dance team out there going through their pregame routine. So, again, if you've got whatever the activity might be that's going to be taking place here at these home football games, let your friends and loved ones know they can watch it here on Audio Sports Online. And a reminder, you can go back and watch an archived broadcast of this game. We typically have it up by Saturday. It's right there on the broadcast page where you're watching our live feed, so you can go back and watch any time you want. Let's thank a couple of the sponsors that are making broadcasts possible this year, the Avon football broadcast here on Audio Sports Online. Hendricks Regional Health is proud to be the indispensable healthcare partner for Avon Community School Corporation. Our sports medicine team at Avon High School is led by Dr. Mark Brewer. Our team specializes in injury prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation to keep you in the game. Learn more at hendricks.org/sports medicine. And Andy Moore has you covered for all your automotive needs. New, used, parts, or service. Go to andymoore.com and get more for your money. Avon Orthodontics, the office of Greg Johnson and Nick Broussard, has been creating great smiles since 1995. And BSN Sports is a proud sponsor and official provider of uniforms, apparel, spirit wear, and equipment for Avon Athletics. And Chick-fil-A Avon. Order the app and skip the lines. Download the Chick-fil-A One today. And LM Spirit Gear. Need apparel for your favorite team? Find us online at lmspiritgear.com. Avon Oral Surgery. The Avon Oral Surgery would like to wish all Avon athletes this year good luck. Go Orioles. Again, Rob Kendall along with Leck Zorn coming to you tonight from Avon High School. And we are going to pause for the playing of our national anthem. All right, the playing of our national anthem. Rob Kendall along with Lex Zorn bringing you Avon football tonight as the Avon Orioles are set to take on the Ben Davis Giants. And Lex, this really is a big game for both of these teams because 1-1 certainly looks and feels a lot better than 0-2.
Yes, especially since each of these teams plays respectively in the first and second best conferences in the state. Ben Davis in the MIC, which is often rated among the top 3 conferences in the country, the Metropolitan Interscholastic Conference, along with Carmel, Warren Central. Obviously, Ben Davis, Lawrence North, Lawrence Central, and basically a conference that has captured 18 of the last 19 state championships in Class 5A or 6A, depending on what the highest class in the state was at the time. And then Avon in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, featuring Fishers, the 2010 state champion, and obviously Zionsville, Westfield, who won the Class 5A state championship back in, I believe, 2016, and several other great schools. Hamilton Southeastern annual, they're a perennially ranked team, who is our opponent next week, a week from tonight here at Avon. So obviously, you know, there aren't a lot of gimme wins in conference play for either of these teams. And at the same time, though, it's also important to look at it in the proper perspective. You know, sometimes if you've got a loss or two that you're going to get, it's best to get them early so you can learn from it. You know, last year, Avon went 9-0 in the regular season. However, in weeks 7 and 8, they beat Westfield and Zionsville back-to-back by only 3 points apiece, 2 pretty mediocre teams. And I think that Avon went into that playoff game against Brownsburg with a false sense of security with an undefeated record and a number 1 ranking in the state. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Ben Davis got off to a 1-3 start, which followed a very uncharacteristic 3-7 win back in 2018, the debut of head coach Jason Simmons. And a lot of people were starting to, you know, wonder if he was the answer or not. However, they went on a tear, went all the way to the semi-state, finished up at 8-5. So, you know, it's nice to get off to a good start, but if you don't, you still have time to overcome it. You know, even if one of these teams is going to go into next week 1-1, the other at 0-2. Obviously, for morale purposes, you'd rather be 1-1. But even the team that has 0-2, they'll still have 7 weeks, nearly 2 whole months to get ready for the playoffs and fix the mistakes. Obviously, for Avon, the big thing they want to fix tonight is the rushing defense. Last week in that game out at Lawrence North, the host Wildcats rushed 41 times for 398 yards, 9.7 yards a carry. That's a number that obviously Coach Bless is going to want to improve by a big margin tonight. And
real quick, let's thank some more of these sponsors that have made it possible, because there's a long list of folks that support the Avon Athletic Program, and they're one of the reasons we're able to be out here tonight. The Beacon Sign Company, the official sign company for Avon Sports. BJ's Restaurant. Hungry? How about BJ's Restaurant in Avon? Come visit us after the game for pizza and Bazooki's, proud sponsor of Avon Athletics. Go Orioles. And please remember to call Fry Electric for all your electrical needs. Harmony of Avon, loving people and sharing hope together. Experience more at harmonyofavon.com, the Harmony Baptist Church. And Bailey Family Dental. The team at Bailey Family Dental is always warm and friendly, wanting to take care of all your dental needs from ages 1 to 100. Dr. Bailey and his staff provide excellent dental care without fear or concern. We at Bailey Family Dental would like to wish all athletic teams good luck. And head to Ralph's Muffler and Brake Shop, located next to Lowe's on Dan Jones Road. First come, first served for your free estimate. Visit Ralph's Muffler and Brake Shop for all your car care needs. And we at Mosquito Joe's, we help you ditch the itch and make outside fun again. Call 317-350-1131. Go Orioles. And Larkin Collision has been supporting athletics for over 20 years. Steve and Debbie Larkin and their family are proud to be Avon alumni. Everyone at Larkin Collision wishes the Avon Orioles good luck. And again, we'll be hearing from those folks throughout the broadcast today as we bring you Avon football taking on the Ben Davis Giants. Again, my name is Rob Kendall, along with Lek Zorn. We'd love to know if you're listening or watching us tonight here on Audio Sports Online. Let us know. You can find us on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Rob M. Kendall, at Rob M. Kendall. Lek, you have a Twitter account as well.
Yes, it's Lek Zorn. It's Leckzorn. That's not Lex, but Lek, Leckzorn. And actually, that's my username on all social media.
Okay, perfect. So let us know. We'd love to get your name on the air. Again, it's kind of it is special that we've been able to be out here. And like I said, we've been out here 15 years now. This will be our 15th season calling Avon football. Always very special. And this year may be more special than any other because we know there are so many people who would simply love to be out here, but due to public health concerns, ticket capacity limits, that they could not be. And again, that's where we come back to these sponsors who have really stepped up because, Lek, as you know, and we've talked about, and Coach and I have talked about over the years on the Mark Bless Show, football really is a driver, not just for football, but for a lot of these other sports. The revenue generated through football enables a lot of other sports to take place, and it is certainly key that these other sponsors step up and make it possible for people to be out here or rather these other sports to take place.
Yes, and we always appreciate our sponsors, but even more so this year because we weren't even sure that there was going to be a this year. So just to be here tonight with this marquee game between these two perennial powerhouse teams, still both in the top 10. We couldn't do it without our sponsors, and we wouldn't have a game in which there would be some fans who are able to enjoy it in person, and then the fans who don't feel safe yet, in a crowd. I'm glad they're still able to sit home, in safety and comfort and watch it, and hopefully we'll do a good job bringing this game to you. But yeah, without our sponsors, it wouldn't be possible. So extra double thanks to them this year.
And again, we are awaiting the arrival of both teams out on the field. We've still got about 3 minutes up on the clock. And we will certainly let you know. You'll see it when they arrive. Avon's going to run right there to the middle of the field. And as we said, still got about 3 minutes up on the clock. And obviously these programs, they went through a lot this year, all programs across the state of Indiana, to make high school football a reality this year. And so we certainly thank all those coaches, the players who acted, in a good, responsible manner. Obviously, life-changing behaviors and decisions that had to take place through many of these players, but they did it. And kudos to all the players, coaching staff, trainers, athletic directors, not just here in Avon, but across the state of Indiana, who have really done the things necessary in order to make high school football a possibility this year. Right here so we can bring it to you on Audio Sports Online, but also so that fans can enjoy it and parents can see many of their kids play in their senior seasons and just a bevy of other things like.
Yeah, that's right. And, this matchup tonight is just one of the great reasons to love high school football here in Indiana. You have these two teams that are just 5 miles apart, Ben Davis on the west side of Indianapolis, Avon here in the suburbs. And, this is the 7th year of this regular season matchup that was made possible because of changes made to these two conferences in the early 2010s. For many years, these were both 10-team leagues with everybody playing everybody during the regular season. And since it's a 9-week regular season, we weren't able to have any non-conference games in either conference, so teams from the top two conferences in the state weren't able to play each other during the regular season. However, then at the end of the 2012 season, the MIC dropped Terre Haute North and South, while at the end of the 2013 season, the HCC dropped Lafayette Jeff, Lafayette Harrison, Lafayette McCutcheon, and then Harrison. And so now now teams from the MIC and the HCC play each other every year. It reminds me sort of like in college basketball, you got the Big Ten ACC Challenge. Just a great thing for the players and for the fans. And the first 4 years of this matchup, Ben Davis actually dominated the series. They won the first 4 matchups, 3 of them by a margin of 30 points or more. However, Avon's turned it around the last couple of years. They won a couple of years ago right here at Avon, 41-36, and then in a game that I have the pleasure of bringing you on Labor Day weekend last year, they got a huge win, 41-17. That wasn't even as close as the final score. Ben Davis scored a couple of late touchdowns after Avon had put it away early. So now Avon trying to make it 3 in a row against Ben Davis. And like I said, these two teams both with big losses last week. Avon losing 62-34 at Lawrence North, while Brownsburg lost 38-7. Ben Davis lost 38-7 to Brownsburg. So each team really wanting to get a win in the worst way tonight, especially against one of its top rivals. Now, let's take a look to see how Avon did last week. Despite the struggles on defense, starting quarterback Henry Hessen, in his third year as a starter, continued to polish his college stock. He completed 17 of 26 passes for 307 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Um, Two of his receivers did most of the damage. Senior Wallace Stovall had 10 receptions for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns, while junior Joe Hall had 5 receptions for 112 yards and 1 touchdown. On the ground, the Orioles also had a 100-yard rusher with Krishawn McCray, who looks like he's doing a good job taking the reins from Jalen Love. McCray rushed 19 times for 104 yards, while sophomore Jaden Jones also showed promise with 3 rushes for 34 yards. And now here come the Orioles. Orioles entering through the large inflatable helmet there to our right in the corner of the end zone.
And you'll see them meet here up here at midfield. They'll run through that inflatable helmet. And, it really is amazing, Leck. Obviously, we have been doing these broadcasts, as we said, for 15 years now. We date back to the days of Dave Shelbourne, and you think about this Avon football program and the consistency, really, that they have had to go from a Dave Shelbourne, who is a legendary coach, to a Mark Bless, also a legendary coach. And it really has been the catalyst to making Avon one of the top football programs in the state of Indiana, and something that certainly the entire Avon community can be proud about. Those of you on the screen can see they'll meet at midfield, and a little bit different this year. No jumping, limited jumping, I guess you will say, compared to what we saw in years past. I'm sure they're doing that to prevent as much as you possibly can on a football field of people engaging with each other. And those are the little things that you're going to see this year that you haven't seen in the past, Leck, that you don't even think about until it happens, which is, little things like that just are kind of probably by the wayside in 2020. And here comes Ben Davis now, who also meet at center of the field. They will also do a limited pregame excitement there at the center of the field to try to keep everybody as far away from each other as possible. But they'll still huddle up there. Ben Davis will be the visitors tonight. Home white jerseys, purple letters and numbers, purple trim on the helmets. We've also got Avon as the home team, of course. The home black jerseys, black helmets, white letters and numbers, the Oriole along the side of the helmet. And here in just a second, we're going to have our coin toss and then the start of tonight's game. The captains that are going to go out there for Avon tonight, it looks like 54, Blake Fisher, as well as number 39, Clayton Peters, will be the two that will go out and call this coin toss tonight. And the point I was making, Leck, was what a blessing that's been for Avon football to have these two coaches who are among the best ever coach high school football in the state.
Oh, that's right, yeah. And, it's always special when you have one living legend and another takes the reins from it and continues the program seamlessly. It's so priceless when that happens. And, we've seen, there are 6 high school football teams here in Hendricks County, and 4 of them have a head coach who's been at his current job for 4 years or less. Only Mark Bless, who's now in his 11th season at Avon, and Brian Woodard, who's in his 16th season now at Plainfield, are the only coaches who've been there longer than 4 years.
Yeah, and obviously for our Plainfield fans, a little different this year. They've decided just to keep everything within the school in that press box during their varsity games. So we're doing JV and freshman games, the Brian Woodard show out there. So everybody's different this year, and I think this will be one of these years that when people look back on it, 20, 30, 40 years from now, they're going to say, what happened that year? Because it's obviously just all different across the state, and obviously it's interesting, because we've archived these games for years here on Audio Sports Online. Avon won the toss, by the way. They will defer. Ben Davis will receive to start the football game. We have these games for years, and it's going to look back several years from now and go, why are there all those road games missing on our broadcast this year?
It's kind of like you look back, like during World War II, for example, the 2 NFL teams in Pennsylvania, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles, they actually combined and fielded one team for a year. They were called the Steagles. One of the great oddities, one of the great oddities in NFL history.
So Avon will kick it off back there to receive for the Ben Davis Giants. It'll be number 6, Rylan Richardson, and number 22, it looks like. Yes, 22 on the far side of the field there, Donnell Mason.
Well, it's great to be here. Now the getting ready for the kickoff. The kicker has the ball in his hands now, ready to place it on the tee.
Yeah,
7:03 your time of day.
beautiful night here in central Indiana. And like I was talking to somebody before the broadcast, by the way, the kicker for Avon, number 18, Nick Bandy, the senior, will boot it away. I said we have years done these Avon JV and freshman games here, and this really has that sort of feel, the limited crowd that we would see in those games. So it feels a lot like what we've done on Saturdays for years here.
Sort of, yeah. And, that being said, I've always loved those JV and freshman broadcasts, and, they really add a lot to my weekends. It's always great. Always great to look at the future of these programs, and I hope all of you listening will still get out here and support the JV and freshman teams. And I'll tell you, I'll hold that thought.
As Bandy's going to boot this one away, and we'll be under action here momentarily.
We got football.
It's a high, deep kick. It'll be taken in the end zone, and that'll be a touchback, and Avon will start at the 20.
Yeah, Bandy's got a really good leg there. Last week, 6 of his 6 kickoffs, 2 of them were touchbacks. He averaged 50.7 yards.
And again, we want to thank Brad Holsinger, Lance Larkey, the entire Avon athletic staff. They pulled a lot of strings, worked very hard to make this possible for us to be up here and do the broadcast this year. Obviously, as we said, normally we've got all this kind of set and ready to go in June or July, but this year very different. They worked very hard to get these sponsors in place and make sure the facility was safe. So thanks to those guys, we're able to bring you football tonight here on AudioSportsOnline.com. First play of the ball game, 4 receivers, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Snap, quarterback keeper to the far side of the field. He will turn the corner, and number 15, the quarterback, the ball carrier, Jawan Swanson, and Swanson has a gain of about 5 yards.
Yeah, and he did a good job. He saw there was apparently, hold that thought.
Yeah, very quickly back to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers wide to the right, 1 man to the left. Second down coming up. Snap, pitch to the near side of the field. Takes it to the far side, cuts it back near the 30. Taken down, gain of about 3 that time. And I believe, yes, that was number 4, the ball carrier, Brandon Fuentes, the running back. So now big third down coming up for the Ben Davis Giants.
And Ben Davis only rushed for 90 yards last week in the tough loss to Brownsburg, so pretty good start for them. And we got a clock stoppage here.
Yeah, whistle. Looks like we've got a helmet issue. And another thing that a lot of people haven't really talked a lot about is, would they have enough officials? A lot of these officials in that age range that there's concern about related to coronavirus. So kudos to all these officials who have deal with the stress of being an official, period, and now they've had that on top of it. So kudos to all these guys that are out here calling the games tonight. And now we got another stoppage of play. Substitution. I think there was another issue out there. And now we're ready to go. Third down and short. Quarterback keeper. Now he'll take it to the far side of the field. He's going to be hit. Breaks out of 1 tackle. Still driving. He's very close.
Yeah.
It's going to depend on a spot. He got hit in the backfield and will be very close. They're going to call it 4th down. Yes, the nose of the football to go here. So let's see. Ben Davis says we're going for it on 4th and short early.
Yeah, very courageous move here by Coach Simmons here.
2 receivers wide to the right, 2 men to the left. Ben Davis working out of the shotgun.
The Giants have rushed on all 3 plays so far. Snap.
Nope. Fake the pitch. Now cuts it back to the far side of the field. Big hole across the 35 up near the 40, and it's going to be enough for a Ben Davis first down. That looked like it might have even been a broken play.
Yeah, it didn't look planned, yeah.
But it resulted in a Ben Davis first down.
So good job there by quarterback Jawan Swanson making something out of nothing. So he's rushed 3 times for 14 yards to start off the game here.
Quick pass to the far side of the field. It's caught up near the 40-yard line. And a gain of about 3 yards on first down. Second down coming up for the Ben Davis Giants. And now we got a whistle and another stoppage of play.
There's Dylan Moore on the reception there, the first pass of the game for 3 yards, bringing up 2nd and 7 at the Ben Davis 40, or 41, excuse me.
Rob Kendall along with Lex Zorn bringing you the game here tonight. 3 receivers wide to the right, 1 man to the left. Snap, quick pass, got a man caught, center of the field. He'll head to the right hash and be up to about the 43-yard line.
That was Donnell Mason for about 2 yards there.
So Mason with the catch. And now it will bring up a third down and about, they're going to call it 4 on the board. That sounds good to me. 3rd and 4 coming up for the Ben Davis Giants. They need to get to the 47. They're at the 43.
And remember, they already have one 4th down conversion in this game.
2 receivers wide to the left, 2 men to the right. Play action. Now there's the give to the lone man in the backfield, which was Brandon Fuentes, and he did not pick up the first down. Got about a yard, and so it'll bring up 4th down and 3. Let's see what the Ben Davis Giants elect to do here. They are going to go for it as very quickly back to the line of scrimmage is Swanson. Now Swanson will come back down under center. Is he trying to draw him off sides? Maybe that's what he's trying to do. Now he will step back, and now it looks like we're going to get a timeout called by the Ben Davis Giants. 8:51 left to go in the first quarter. Hendricks Regional Health is proud to be the indispensable healthcare partner for our Avon Community School Corporation. Our sports medicine team at Avon High School is led by Dr. Mark Brewer. Our team specializes in injury prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation to keep you in the game. Learn more at hendricks.org/sportsmedicine. And Andy Moore Automotive is the state's largest and is proud to be the exclusive automotive sponsor of the Avon Community Schools. Avon Orthodontics, it is the happening place to be. Everyone at Avon Orthodontics wishes the Orioles good luck. Well,
back here at Avon, we're getting ready to resume play here. This is the first possession of the game. Ben Davis has the ball. 4th and 3 at their own 44. Still no score yet. 8:51 to go here in the first quarter. Second game of the season. Home opener at Avon. And it looks like, and the Giants on their first series of downs, they went for it, made it on 4th and 1. Looks like they are going to go for a punt here. However, keep in mind their punter is the quarterback, Jawan Swanson. So don't be surprised if we get a fake here.
Swanson.
We have one guy back deep for the Orioles to receive. I can't pick out his number from, and now he runs with it.
He's going to keep it. You're right, Leck, and that's not going to work out. Avon's going to stop him and take it down. I think, Leck, it looked like it was going to be one of those rugby running kicks, and he thought he might have seen a hole there, but Avon did a tremendous job of continuing to force him to the outside, and then he had nowhere to go. He had to cut back. Avon took him down, and it'll be Orioles ball, 1st and 10 on the 42-yard line of the Ben Davis Giants.
You know, Swanson just looked indecisive to me, like he wasn't sure, like he thought maybe he wanted to run and then wasn't sure. But nevertheless, it does not work out. Swanson rushes 4 times on that first possession for 12 yards.
All right, out of the shotgun, Hessen, candidate for Mr. Football. Certainly coming into this season and put up a lot of points. Anytime you're in the 30s, that's a pretty good job by the offense, even though it wasn't nearly enough in week 1, but the offense did their part. 2 receivers to each side of the field. Hessen out of the gun, snap, and that's going to be a false start on the right side of the line.
And I'll tell you one good thing about that first possession, Rob. You know, last week, Avon gave up nearly 10 yards per carry to Lawrence North. That first drive tonight, Ben Davis rushed 6 times for 16 yards, less than 3 a carry, so that's marked improvement. You can be sure that's one of the things that the Orioles worked the hardest on in practice this week.
All right, out of the shotgun, Hessen now. Facing a 1st and long. Snap, pass, caught on the far side of the field. Room to run inside the 35 and very close to a first down. I think he got it, and I believe that was number 13, Wallace Stovall on the far side of the field. Just a little catch and go that time, Leck.
Yeah, Stovall, outstanding game a week ago. Tonight, 10 receptions, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. Picked up 15 yards there.
So all the way down, they're going to put it at the 32. So a big gain that time of about 15-ish yards.
Yes.
And quickly Avon back with 8-18 and running here to go in the first quarter. Snap, pass to the near side of the field. That one's caught inside the 20.
Yeah, he's got the first, yeah.
85 on the reception, Remington Gall.
They're going to give him credit for about 12 there.
Clock will continue to move. Of course, in high school football, clock stops to move the chains. If it's inbounds, they'll start it once they set the football. 8 minutes and counting left to go here in the first quarter. And whistle and another penalty, and it's going to be another false start on the Orioles. Yes, so Mark Bless not going to like that.
No, he's not, but I'll tell you, though, you really have to question the decision of Ben Davis to go for it this early in the game in their own territory on fourth down. They ended up giving Avon a potent offense, outstanding field position.
So Hessen will work out of the gun again. Back at the 30 stands, now 31. 3 receivers wide to the right, 1 man to the left. Working out of the shotgun. Snap. Play action. Now he's going to be flushed out. He's going to be hit and dropped. He got the initial line of scrimmage, maybe a couple, so it won't go as a sack. But a lot of pressure that time by the Ben Davis defensive line.
Yeah, they did a good job clamping down, and all of a sudden they've got it. You know, they give Hessen credit for one there. First rush of the game for the Orioles. That'll bring it 2nd and 14, so it gives a little bit of, margin for error now for the Ben Davis defense, which struggled last week as well.
2 receivers to the right, 1 man to the left. Snap. There's the give in the back of the first run of the ball game. Big hole inside the 25. Ball's hit up, and it came into the hands of an Oriole. That was Kershawn McCray on the run. Great run was hit, and somebody, we'll see as the bodies uncover, was Johnny on the spot. I think it was 85 Stovall.
Yeah, very, very lucky there.
Gall. 85 Gall, yeah. So now a big 3rd and short coming up for Avon.
Yeah, very, very great luck there for the Orioles.
So 3rd down and 2, they'll call it on the board. 6:25 and change. And moving, I should say, left to go in the first quarter. No score. Avon on the verge, though, of putting points on the scoreboard. Boy, Ben Davis wanted a movement. They didn't get it that time.
Big 3rd down for the Giants defense.
Snap back to pass. Flushed out, rolling right side. Rolling. Still rolling. Throws it up, and it is incomplete on the far side of the field. And a 4th down will be coming up here as Hessen had to just get rid of the football. And now it'll bring up a 4th down for the Avon Orioles.
Yeah, this would be a 29-yard field goal if that's what they go for. Bandy did not attempt a field goal last week.
And it looks like Avon, Mark Bless, for now, going to leave the offense on the field. They need 2 yards.
So already in the first, this game we're not even through half a quarter yet, and already 3 attempts to go for it on 4th down. 2 by the Giants, and now 1 by the Orioles.
Hessen takes the snap, back to pass, steps up, has a man that's caught inside the 10. He's going to be very close. It's going to depend on a spot.
Looked to me like he got it by about a yard.
I believe that was Stovall, 13 with the reception, and it is just barely enough, but close. It don't matter, like if it's by 1 inch, it counts all the same.
It does indeed, yes. Stovall with his 2nd reception of the game, 2 for 18 now. Had a monster game in the loss a week ago.
Out of the gun, Hessen. 3 receivers flanked to the right, 1 man to the left. 1st and goal for Avon. Give to McCray. He's got the 2 to the 1, dives, and he is in for the score. Touchdown, Kershawn McCray, and the Avon Orioles. Nice leaping dive there, getting it inside the pylon, and Avon quickly up by a score of 6-0.
And that's big because last week they were at the end of 1 quarter at Lawrence North last week. They were down 21-7, and they had to play catch-up the rest of the way. And as you know, Rob, you having seen Lawrence North under head coach Patrick Mallory, once they get up a couple of possessions on you, because they run almost every play, it's very hard to come back.
Bandy on to attempt the extra point. Snap spot. Kick is up. It is down the middle. It is good. And with 5:28 left to go in the first quarter, Avon leads it by a score of 7-0. BSN Sports is a proud sponsor and official provider of uniforms, apparel, spirit wear, and equipment for Avon Athletics. Chick-fil-A of Avon. Celebrate with chicken. Visit Chick-fil-A Avon for post-game celebration. And do you have an upcoming corporate event or outing? Reach out to us at lmspiritgear.com. We can help. And Avon Oral Surgery has been providing excellent oral surgery care to the Avon community since 1981. Leck, you couldn't have drawn that one up much better.
Yeah, that's right. Ben Davis made a couple of high-risk moves, going for it twice on fourth down in their own territory on their first possession. First time it worked out. Second time it didn't. They gave the Orioles outstanding field position. And Avon, despite a couple of penalties, took advantage of it, scoring relatively easily. And once again, showing the wide arsenal of weapons that lit up the scoreboard last year. Looks like they're going to do it again this year. And hopefully among the few hundred fans here tonight in attendance, there are some Division I scouts, although you just wonder if these guys, if they get Division I scholarships, is there going to be college football for them to go to?
It's one of the many, many questions, that still need to be answered. But right now for Avon, they answered the call in terms of going down and putting it in to begin the football game. And so that's a nice start for Avon, leading at 7-0.
84 degrees was your kickoff temperature, by the way. I forgot to mention that earlier.
There's the kick. It's a high end-over-end kick. It'll sail into the end zone.
So Bandy was 2 for 6 getting his kickoffs into the end zone last week, 2 for 2 tonight, so he's 4 for 8 on the season. Very good leg on that young man. And also, hopefully tonight we will get a chance to, get a look at his backup kicker, Sam Miller, one of the few girls I've ever commentated in football. I've commentated her many times in JV ball, and she's actually she has dead-on accuracy. I mean, they got her over from the soccer team, and she really does very well.
All right, so quickly out of the shotgun. Avon back up to a little misdirection play, and it went nowhere. And what ended up happening was number 39 for the Avon Orioles, Clayton Peters, in there on the sack.
And this is really big. And keep in mind, if we can get a 2-possession lead in this game, as that's a loss of 6 there for Swanson, if we can get the ball back, get a 2-possession lead, then that's going to be very hard for Ben Davis to come back from, because they did not do much offensively through the air or on the ground last week.
Out of the gun, snap, back to pass, steps up, flushed out. Swanson on the run, evades one tackler, evades another. He's off to the races, and he's up near the 30-yard line, and that should be enough for a first down. Nice job by Swanson that time.
Yeah, Swanson was 11 for 22 on the ground last week. However, the Giants against the Bulldogs, against Brownsburg, only 141 yards of total offense. They got to do better than that tonight if they're going to have a shot to win. Swanson, though, gets 17 there.
Snap, back to pass, throws, caught, far side of the field, cuts it back, room to run into the center of the field, but a host of Orioles wrap him up and take him down around the 34-yard line, or up around the 34-yard line, I should say.
Said complete to Donnell Mason there on the pass that they give him credit for 3.
Second down and 7 coming up for Ben Davis. Quarterback keeper again, right up the gut, leans ahead near the 39, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 2 here with 4 minutes left to play in the first quarter.
So they give him credit for 5 there. So Swanson, 7 for 28 on the ground. He's been the brightest spot so far for the Giant offense. I'll tell you, Swanson obviously has a lot of athletic ability. It just seems like sometimes he gets a little bit erratic and uncertain, indecisive, in his decision making.
Well, that was weird.
Yes.
All sorts of delay there, and then a flag flew on the far side of the field, and I think it's going to be a sideline infraction on the Ben Davis Giants. That's a warning.
Well, it's now this is a very big 3rd down for the Giants. Last time they turned the ball over on downs at their own 42, paving the way for the Orioles to get an easy score. Trying to avoid that, trying to even up the score here.
3:40 and counting left to go here in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, I'm Rob Kendall. He's Lex Zorn. And the Avon Orioles lead at 7-0 over the Ben Davis Giants here on AudioSportsOnline.com. Ben Davis moving the ball, though, facing a 3rd and 2 from their own 39. Snap. Oh, fake the pitch. Now misdirection play. Cuts it back. Room to run. Big hole. Off to the races. Down the sidelines. And he's going to be taken down inside the 25. Nice run that time by Swanson. And, boy, Mark Pless is going to look back on that film, Leck, and see an end that didn't stay home that time because Swanson had a long way to run.
Yes, he did. And certainly, you know, that's brings back bad memories of last week where they were just eaten alive by the Lawrence North rushing attack, as they give Swanson credit there for 37 yards there.
And now out of the gun, Swanson. Man going in motion from left to right. That's an end around. They're going to give it to him. Cuts it back. Host of Orioles there to take him down. Picks up about 3 yards on the play. I believe that was number 2 on the run, Robert Peters.
Yeah, so now on this drive, Swanson has runs of 17 and 37 yards. So they give Robert Peters credit for 3 yards on his first carry here.
2nd and 7 coming up. 2:50 left to go here in the first quarter of action.
First time all game that Ben Davis has been in Avon territory.
Working out of the gun. Snap. Back to pass. Throws it. Oh, boy, dropped. Boy, little short pass that time. Screenplay. It was intended for number 12. That is Dylan Moore. And it was incomplete.
From my vantage point, it looked like it might have been partly blocked, you know, upon the release. But anyway, 3rd and 7 now for Ben Davis.
Swanson working out of the gun. Ben Davis struck first. They lead at 7-0, but the Giants are moving the football. Snap. There's a give straight ahead, and what a hit. Wrapped up, taken down, number 39, Clayton Peters with the tackle on the handoff to Brandon Fuentes.
Yeah, so that'll bring up 4th down. Big decision now for the Giants. Are they going to go for it for the 3rd time here in this first quarter?
It looks like they are, Leck. 2:15 and counting here to go in the first quarter. 2 receivers to the right, 2 men to the left. Swanson working out of the gun. They got to get 6 yards, single man in the backfield. It's a little end around. There's the give. He's got big room right now. He's going to throw it. Got him in wide open. It's short, and it's incomplete. The ball falls short. He had a man wide open. That was number 2 for the Ben Davis Giants. Robert Peters was open, but the pass on the end around by Antonio Woods, by number 22, Donnell Mason, falls incomplete.
Yeah, he just didn't put enough on the ball. It was a very weak release. So now Avon will take over with 1:59 to go here in the first quarter in a 7-0 lead. And if they get that 2-possession lead, especially a 2-touchdown lead, then that will put Ben Davis in a deep hole. And so now the Orioles line up on offense again. They scored easily in the first possession. Only had 42 yards to go. 1 receiver to the left, 3 to the right. McCray, the running back. McCray gets it, and he's up there. He's got some room on the right side. He could have the first down. He does and more. Knocked out of bounds about the 35. So Christian McCray looking very good. He was 2 for 20, including a touchdown on the first drive. Now starts off the second drive with 14.
So, as you said, Leck, nice call there that time. Avon with a nice gain on first down, and boy, that sun makes such a difference. It's behind a cloud right now, as you can probably see looking at our field, and the temperature, just the difference between having sun and not having sun is just unbelievable. But anyway, first down and 10 for the Avon Orioles. 1:53 left to go here in the first quarter of action.
Yeah, we got a nice breeze coming in now.
Snap. There's the give to McCray to the near side. Cuts it back. Big hole. And taken down near the 50-yard line. It'll be another first down for the Avon Orioles.
Christian McCray, definitely the player of the game so far for the Orioles. You know, he did have the fumble, but other than that, he's been outstanding. Already 4 for 50 and a touchdown in this game. We're just in the first quarter.
Working out of the gun is Peters. Now looks back, looks for a direction from the coaching staff. He'll take his time. Single man in the backfield, 2 receivers flanked wide to the right, 2 men to the left. Working out of the gun. Snap. Give ahead. It's McCray. Big hole center of the field. He'll lean forward up to about the 37-ish yard line.
They give him credit for 7, and that's the lowest of his 5 rushes today. 5 for 57 on the ground for Krishan McCray here in the first quarter, including a touchdown.
Give again to McCray. Barrels ahead. Short gain that time on second down, and it'll bring up he might have got a yard.
Yeah, my feeling is, until your opponent shows they can contain him, keep giving it to him.
Well, and as you know, running the ball keeps their offense off the field. That's a give to McCray, and that he's going to barrel forward. He nice job to at least get that initial line of scrimmage back, maybe a half a yard. That'll probably be the final play of the first quarter if Mark Bless wants it to be, although the way they move this offense, maybe not. It'll be a 4th down and a yard from the 41. They need to get to the 40. 20 seconds and counting. Let's see what Mark Bless elects to do here.
They seem to have figured out a way to stuff McCray. Let's see if they give it to him for a 4th consecutive play, or 5th actually.
Now he will look in and look back. And, they are going to be content to let it go to the quarter. So 1 quarter in the books. Avon leads it 7-0 over the Ben Davis Giants. And, by the way, just real quick, if you're watching tonight, let us know where you're from. Let us know you're enjoying the game. At Rob M. Kendall on Twitter. At Rob M. Kendall. At Lex Zorn on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. We'll try to get your name read on the air a little bit later on in the broadcast. It's interesting. We've talked about this before. Certainly growing up in Hendricks County, and certainly when I started calling these games some 18 years ago now, 15 years just for Avon.
Yeah.
The game has changed so much in high school football. It used to be, run. Maybe you'd get a couple passes in each possession. Certainly most quarterbacks were down under center, often a fullback, an I formation of some sort, and now it's this spread offense that rivals, pro offense, and you see it at the college game too. It's amazing these high school kids and these high school coaches have been able to facilitate these pro-style offenses.
Yeah, it is, and, this is my 9th season in commentary, and I've even noticed a difference in that 9 years of the way that the high school game has evolved here in Indiana, and I've seen a lot of examples of it, that now it's not that uncommon to see teams that pass as often or even more often than they rush. And, in fact, actually, a couple of years ago, I had a treat. I'll try to squeeze it in sometime later in the broadcast. So now, starting off the second quarter, Avon leading 7-0. They have the ball 4th and 1 at the Ben Davis 41. It looks like they are going to go for it. This is the 6th play of the drive. Krishan McCray has rushed the ball on every play on this drive so far.
Yeah, big play here. As you said, you definitely want to keep that Avon or the Ben Davis offense off the field, and we'll see if the Avon offense can make that a reality. Work it out of the gun. Snap, steps, throws, picks off, and he could go the distance.
He will. He will. Oh, my God. What a game changer. Oh, my God. I can't believe it.
And I believe that was number 12. Yep. Dylan Moore with the interception, the run back, and what could be the game-tying touchdown pending an extra point.
And it certainly it's game-changing because Avon close to getting a 2-possession lead that would not be insurmountable, but certainly would be very hard for Ben Davis to overcome with their fairly weak offense. Now all of a sudden, they're right back in it.
Yep. So let's see what happens next now as Ben Davis will attempt the extra point. I believe the kicker is going to be number 11.
Now they're going for it. They're going for the 2.
Yeah, they are. There's the give. Cuts it back. He's not going to get it. Yeah, nice.
So Avon does retain the lead.
Yeah, number 2, Robert Peters, the running back at that time. And let's take a moment to thank the Beacon Sign Company. Beacon Sign Company for all your signage needs. And if you're hungry, how about BJ's Restaurant in Avon? Come visit with us after the game for pizza and Pizookies, proud sponsor of Avon Athletics. Go Orioles! And Fry Electric. Please remember to call Fry Electric for all your electrical needs. And Harmony Baptist Church of Avon. Harmony of Avon is a proud sponsor of Avon Athletics. And the Bailey Family Dental Team. The team at Bailey Family Dental Team is always warm and friendly, wanting to take care of all your dental needs from ages 1 to 100. Dr. Bailey and his staff provide excellent dental care without fear or concern. We at Bailey Family Dental would like to wish all the athletic teams good luck.
Well, back here at Avon, we're about to resume play with a game that just had a major momentum change. Avon had the ball leading 7-0 to start off the second quarter. Looked like they were about to score to make it 14-0. However, an interception by Dylan Moore that was returned for a touchdown brought Ben Davis back into it. However, they missed the two-point conversion attempt, so Avon does retain the lead by a score of 7-6. That's Hessen's first interception of the game, second of the season. Last week he did have 5 touchdowns, however, versus the 1 interception.
All right, so back to receive the kick for Avon, and even in the small capacity crowd here tonight, you can feel the air kind of go out of the stadium, as that's number 2, Krishan McCray, back there to receive the kick. 11:50 to go in the first half of action. I'm Rob Kendall. He's Lex Zorn. Avon leads it 7-6.
And McCray standing at the 15.
He knew that was going to happen, and there's a kick taken on the run back at the 10. He'll get it ahead to the 20, 25, up across the 25, stays on his feet near the 28.
That was Joe Hall, the team's second leading receiver last week. They're on the return. Brought it up about 17 yards.
They seemed prepared. They saw something in the Brownsburg game, apparently, that told them, don't expect a long kick, because they were ready for it.
Yes, they were. And I'll tell you, though, I give all the credit to Dylan Moore of Ben Davis. That the timing to rush to charge at that pass was just perfect. When he made that interception, there was nothing between him and the end zone. And he took it in about 60 yards or so. Already, hard to believe, just a little over 12 minutes into this game, already 4 times the team has gone for it on 4th down. 2 by each team.
Snap. He's going to break out of there. On the run. Throwing. Got him in wide open. He's off to the races.
Yeah.
Inside the 40, 30,
He's
20,
gone.
10, 5. Touchdown. That was number 11 for the Orioles, Joe Hall. And Avon goes the distance.
Oh, my God. What a way to redeem yourself. Last pass, it was intercepted, returned for a touchdown. This one goes all the way for the touchdown.
Hey, let's thank a couple of our folks here that are watching us. Dennis Meredith watching us at home. And Dwight Scow watching the Avon Orioles game in Avon, but he lives in Manchester, Kentucky. Hello, Dwight. If you'd like to let me know what you're watching, where you're watching from tonight, at Robin Kendall on Twitter. At Robin Kendall on Twitter. We'll get it read on the air. So thanks to Dennis, Dwight, and all the rest tuning in here tonight on AudioSportsOnline.com. Snap spot to Bandy. Kick is up. It's down the middle. It is good. And Avon now leads it by a score of 14-6.
Oh, my God. That's, the last 2 plays from scrimmage, both big momentum changers. Avon about to get a 2 touchdown lead. All of a sudden, Ben Davis cuts the lead to 1 on that interception return. And then the next play from scrimmage for Avon, Hessen redeems himself from the interception, finds a wide-open Joe Hall on the right side. He takes it in 71 yards for the score. So now an 8-point lead for the Orioles. And again, remember, Ben Davis has not done much offensively all season, except tonight, Juwan Swanson, the quarterback, has had a couple of good runs. But they've had a hard time sustaining drives all season. Only 7 points last week against Brownsburg, and they did not score, I believe, until the 4th quarter. There's Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne, a song that seems a lot more relevant today than it did when it was released 39 years ago.
You are a music connoisseur, my friend.
Yes, indeed. And my son's turning into the same now.
14-6 our score. Avon leads Ben Davis. Rob Kendall, Lex Zorn here with you tonight on Audio Sports Online, kicking off our 15th year of bringing you Avon football. It'll be, as of now at least, only home games this year. There's a line drive kick. It's going to sail not quite into the end zone. And he's got room to run up across the 20, on his feet across the 25, And Ben Davis will take over there.
And that was Bandy's first kickoff that was not a touchback tonight. He's 4 for 9 in getting it into the end zone this season.
Hey, again, we want to thank Brad Holsinger, Lance Larkey, the entire Avon athletic staff for their tremendous job that they have done to get this football game ready for tonight. This season ready. Mark Bless, the athletic training staff, and, of course, we want to thank Brad and Lance for working with us to figure out a way to make these broadcasts possible this year. And recently, as a couple of weeks ago, we weren't sure if they were going to happen and in what form they would, but we've all worked together, and it's an honor to be out here this year. Big hit, dropped in the backfield, 37, Sam Shockley on the hit for Avon.
So, yeah, he was brought down for a loss there. That was Peters there.
Second down and long coming up for Ben Davis. In fact, 2nd and 12 on the board.
Giants still trying to find their stride on offense. Closest thing they've gotten so far is Juwan Swanson with, showing some good mobility on the ground.
A big hit by Peters off the handoff that goes nowhere. And it'll bring up a 3rd and long. Avon defense playing with a lot of passion right now. And keep in mind, like, the only points that Ben Davis has scored was off an interception. So
yes.
the Avon defense is doing wonderful.
So, yeah, it's definitely and another tackle for loss there, too. So 2 plays on this drive, minus 3 yards on 2 rushes.
Out of the gun, snap, back to pass, steps up, throws, got a man in and out of the hands, and boy, he had room to run, and he could have been gone. But as it stands, it's an incomplete pass. The intended receiver that time, number 5, Dylan Carnell.
Yeah, and the timing looked like it was just slightly off there. Just slightly off. So 10:06 to go here in the second quarter. Home opener for Avon against arch rival Ben Davis. Both teams entered the game at 0-1 with a very tough loss last week, but each team still ranked in the top 10.
Swanson to kick it away. It's a clean kick, high kick. It'll sail, it'll hit, it'll not be returned as it goes out of bounds across the 40. And that's where Avon will take over.
So now Avon, for the second time in this game, will have a chance to take a 2-possession lead. That would be very hard for Ben Davis to overcome. Last time, they almost got it, but through an interception that was returned for a touchdown. Let's see if they do it this time.
Yeah, so Avon will have the ball 1st and 10. 9:58 left to go here in the first quarter of action, or first half of action. Rob Kendall, Lex Zorn, bringing you the play-by-play of tonight's game. 3 receivers going wide to the right, 1 man to the left, out of the shotgun in the backfield, as Hessen will take the snap. Snap, throws, got a man caught, far near side of the field, and he's up near the 50. That time it was number 13 for the Avon Orioles.
Stovall, yeah.
Stovall with the reception. Going to be a gain of about 8, second, and we'll call it 2.
Yeah, they give him credit for 8. That's correct.
Out of the gun.
Stovall already 3 for 27 in this game.
Snap back to pass. Steps up, fires, got a man caught again at Stovall. He's across the 50, tripped up. Good enough for the first. It's going to be close. We'll see. I think I think it's enough. No signal yet. Now they'll tell him move those chains, and it's a first down for the Avon Orioles.
Yeah, they give him credit for 2 there.
First down and 10 for Avon, working out of the gun. Snap, back to pass, steps up, has time. Now Hessen's going to take off with it. Hit, dropped, got the initial line of scrimmage, not much more. So again, technically avoiding the sack, but a nice job by the Ben Davis defense that time.
Yes, indeed, and they're going to probably need another big play to, like they got on their last defensive possession, or 2 possessions ago. Excuse me. I believe that was McCray who got it again.
Yeah, short game by McCray. Hello to Josh, watching his little but taller than me cousin, Mr. Wallace from Avon, and Colin Brown watching the Orioles with Chris and Sharon Harris over here in Avon. Best in-laws ever, Avon super fans. So thanks to those folks as well.
You got a flag here. 8:50 to go. The clock stopped. Avon leading 14-6. The Orioles trying to take the first 2-possession lead of the game.
And again, if you are tuning in, let us know at Rob M. Kendall on Twitter. We're trying to get some of those retweeted out and put up there. We'll announce it during the broadcast. Again, very special year for us, a much different year, but probably the most special of the 15 years now that I've been out here. This is a good one. This really is. You go through this every year, Leck, and you certainly appreciate it, and you love Avon football. And by the way, that penalty is going to be on Ben Davis. But with all the stuff going on, and we weren't sure up to the very end here, about 2 weeks out, if we were going to have a broadcast, and in what capacity it would be. Brad Holsinger, Lance Larkey, they worked really hard not only to have these broadcasts, but continue to make them free of charge to the consumer. And
yes, that's so invaluable.
A lot of schools this year are going to paywalls. You have to pay for the broadcast. Brad was adamant they wanted to keep it free. They worked with us to figure out a way to do that. And that's where these sponsors that we are reading continue to come in. So please support these businesses because they make it possible for you to have this broadcast free of charge to you tonight.
That's right.
Out of the gun, 2nd down and 1.
Now we got a flag. There's some movement before the line.
I think we're going to give that 5 back that they just got. Yeah, they are. So we'll go right back to where we were. 8:30. Go ahead, Leck.
Oh, yeah, no, go. Yeah, I would just want to remind you all. We'll remind you again later, but 1 week from tonight, we'll have our next broadcast as the Orioles return to action against another top 10 team, the conference rival Hamilton Southeastern Royals, as we begin Hoosier Crossroads Conference play.
I got to say, Leck, I'm going to be disappointed if we don't get to do any road games this year, but I'm not disappointed I'd have to drive to Fishers, Noblesville, Westfield in rush hour this year. I'm going to say that is a little bit of a blessing.
Well, hold that thought till after this play.
Snap, there's the give to McCray. He'll stretch it to the left side, cuts it back, taken down, got that 5 back again, so they ping-ponged around. Probably got about 4 yards actually that time. It'll bring up 3rd and short. Go ahead, Leck.
Yeah, this is my 9th season of high school football commentary, my 94th varsity game tonight, as they give McCray credit for 3. And I've gotten it down to a science what time I need to leave work, to get to certain schools.
Now there's a hit. McCray taken down short gain that time. It'll bring up 4th and short for the Avon Orioles. And let's see what Mark Bless wants to do as they're in Ben Davis territory, but not by much.
Was that McCray again?
That was McCray. He's done the workhorse, the load of the work. He has been the workhorse tonight for the Avon Orioles. 44-yard line's where it's at. They need the 40, so a 4th and 4, and Mark Bless appears content to try to go for it here. Let's see what happens.
5th time going for it on 4th down in the game between the two teams. Not even halfway through the second quarter. Low snap.
Back to pass. Hessen flushed out left side. Throwing on the run. Got a man caught. What poise. What a catch.
Did he get it?
He did get it. It is a catch. It was number 85, Remington Gall, on the far side of the field. 1st down, Avon. Man, Henry Hessen is something special.
That's Gall's second reception of the game. Play covers 7 yards.
7:11 left to go here in the first quarter. And a whistle. And now a false start is going to be called on.
So, I think the big thing you got to worry about if you're Avon, penalties. Yeah,
and we've seen several false starts, which we're not, as of now, not doing a Mark Bless show this year. But if we did or do or whatever, I'm sure when we would talk to him, he would say those are just killers because they're unforced errors.
Yeah, and, they can probably win this game with that, but there's some of the teams, in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, teams you'll run into in the playoffs like Center Grove, where it could cost you the game.
Yeah, absolutely right. Out of the gun. Snap, back to pass. Hessen has time. Now he's going to roll to the right. Throwing deep over the intended
Did he
catch it?
Oh, my God, yeah.
No, incomplete. He came out of nowhere. I thought the intended receiver was number 8, Aiden Chavis.
Yeah, Hull.
But 13 Stovall came out of nowhere. No, I'm sorry, that was number 11, I think. Joe Hall coming out of nowhere. But ultimately they said it was incomplete, so. Sorry for not turning the camera quicker there. I thought the intended receiver was way over his head, and then coming out of nowhere was Joe Hall.
Yeah, but Rob, it shows how far Avon's come when we're saying that they can make these mistakes and still beat Ben Davis.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and we'll talk a little bit about that during halftime when
Yeah.
we're killing some time. But now out of the gun here. Hessen, snap, back to pass. Steps up. Here comes the rush. Little screen pass. It's McCray. McCray's got it. He's got room to run. Near side of the field. Hit at the 40, and he'll pile ahead. And it'll bring up a third down. And let's see, they got to get to the 28. That'll put it at the 40. A third down and about 12.
McCray already 10 rushes in the game. That's his first reception. It goes for 2 yards. $6:30 to go and counting here in the second quarter. Game 2 out of 9 in the regular season. Avon trying to get its third consecutive win against Ben Davis after losing the first 4 in the regular season series.
Out of the gun. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Snap, back to pass, steps up, has time. Firing down the middle, it is caught! What a catch inside the 10. And that, in the hands of Remington Gall, is enough for an Avon first down.
Incredible. The play covers about 30 yards. Let's see exactly. Okay, so it does cover 30 yards.
First and goal for the Orioles. Snap, back to pass. Hessen steps up, fires a bullet to the near side,
Hall
leaning.
dives. Did he break the plane?
And he got it,
yes.
touchdown. Yes, he did.
Oh, my God.
What a catch that time. Joe Hall with the touchdown reception, and that'll make it a 20-6 affair. 5:54 left to go in the first half of action. What a catch, what a move, what a score for the Avon Orioles.
Yeah, that was Hall's first reception of the game. He did have a touchdown reception last week, so it's his second of the season. And that's Hessen's second touchdown tonight and his 7th of the season through 2 games.
And the kick is up, and a flag comes in late. The kick is good. That may be a roughing the kicker, which will add on to the Avon position when they kick off.
Yeah, of course, that reminds me, I remember saying when I was commentating Sam Miller, the Avon's female kicker a couple of years ago in JV ball, I just said that anybody who ever gets penalized for roughing the kicker on her will get no mercy from the officials.
Head to Ralph's Muffler and Brake Shop, located next to Lowe's on Dan Jones Road. It's first come, first served. For your free estimate, visit Ralph's Muffler and Brake Shop for all your care needs. Mosquito Joe's, we help you ditch the itch and make outside fun again. 317-350-1131. Go Orioles. And the team at Larkin Collision is always ready to serve any of your automotive repair needs. They would like to wish all the Avon athletic teams good luck this year.
Well, I have a correction to make. I said that Hall, that was his first reception of the game. I forgot to write down his 71-yard touchdown earlier, so I stand corrected. He has 2 touchdowns tonight, 3 on the season. So
Avon will get to move the ball up to the 45-yard line.
And we do have that 2-possession lead, so now Avon firmly in control of this game. Ben Davis only 141 yards of total offense last week.
And they will get the ball to begin the second half.
Yes. So if we can hold them off the scoreboard the rest of the half, then get the ball and score a touchdown to start the third quarter, then this one should be ours. Yeah, it'll be ours to lose, certainly.
There's a high, short kick. It'll be taken at the 10, stretching it to the near side of the field, and gets the 20, not much else. So a first down and 10 coming up for the Ben Davis Giants. They trail it 21-6.
And, I remember that Ben Davis team of 2017 steamrolled to the state championship. They beat Avon 52-20 in the regular season in week 2 that year. And I remember watching them absolutely demolish Penn. I think it was like 63-7 before they, called off the Dogs. And I think Penn got a couple late touchdowns. But that might be the best team I've ever seen in Indiana high school football ever. And then Mike Kirshner, the head coach, left at the end of the year for Mount Vernon. And the team they started to get on track at the second half of last season under new head coach Jason Simmons. But still, 3 years later, it doesn't seem like they've come close to recovering from all the losses they had there in 2017.
Handoff to the far side of the field, short gain on first down, and we'll talk a little bit about this at halftime about how far Avon has come, and you can judge that relative to how they've played these big-time programs. Snap back to pass caught on the far side of the field, room to run, enough for a first down up across the 30, and Ben Davis will have it 1st and 10, as that time it was number 12, Dylan Moore, with the reception. And, of course, Moore had that interception return for a touchdown, the only score of the ball game for Ben Davis.
Yes, they did. So Moore has 3 of the 4 receptions now for the Giants.
Out of the gun, snap, back to pass. Going down the sideline, and it is
caught.
And he's off to the races. Inside the 30, he will be taken down from behind, but it's going to be a first down deep into Avon territory for the Ben Davis Giants.
So that was a long. So Robert Peters there with the long reception. So a big possible breakthrough play there for Ben Davis there. The play covers 56 yards there.
First down and 10 for Ben Davis. They can pick up a first down as they are outside the 10-yard line. Ball's at the 12. And Ben Davis with the big play there. Snap back to pass. Swanson's going to keep it. Tripped up inside the 10, and it'll bring up second down and about 7 for the Ben Davis Giants.
Well, I could tell very early that Swanson has a lot of ability. He just seemed like he was a little erratic and indecisive. If he settles down, and maybe this is a sign he's starting to, I think he can make a lot of things happen out there.
2 receivers to the left, 1 man to the right. Snap, give up the center of the field, and still driving. Nice hustle that time by number 4, Fuentes. And it'll bring up a third down and about 4 for Ben Davis. 4:30 left to play in the first half. And Ben Davis knocking on the door. Actually, they're going to so they'll put it back in between the 7 and 6. They need to get to the 2, so we'll call it a long 4. Out of the gun. Quarterback keeper, and nice job by Avon to stand him up and push him back. He got the 5. So 4th down and 3, and this is a big play in the ball game as Ben Davis knocking on the door. Down 2 scores, though, at 21-6.
Was that Swanson again?
That was the quarterback Swanson with the keeper that time.
So Swanson, he's 11 for 73 on the ground now, including runs of 37 and 17. And Ben Davis, if they get a touchdown here on this possession, make it a 1-possession game, assuming they score a conversion point, that would make it that would get them within 1 possession, and that would give them a fighting chance. But if a turnover on downs here would be devastating.
And now a whistle and a timeout.
Yes,
going to be called by Ben Davis with 3:28 to go. And Alec, as I was talking about, when we first started commentating Avon in the mid-2000s, they were a team that, yes, they could win the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. They could, on a good year, beat those Hamilton Southeasterns, even though they had some problems with them sometimes. But they were always first or second, it seemed like, in the conference. But you just kind of felt, if they got through their sectional, if they ran into a Ben Davis, a Warren Central, a Center Grove, that they just weren't going to be able to get over that hump. And we have certainly seen with head coach Mark Bless, especially in these past 5 or 6 years, the ability of this program to take that next step. They can not only compete, they can beat these big-time programs. And let's face it, entering the tournament last year, Avon was probably the favorite to win the state championship.
They were, and I think really, in retrospect, had they lost one of those games late in the season against Westfield or Noblesville, Westfield or Zionsville that they had the 3-point wins against, if they had lost one of those games, I think they would have had a better chance to beat Brownsburg because they would have realized, hey, we can be beaten. We better, polish up these rough edges. But I think they went in with a little bit of overconfidence because they were undefeated and ranked number 1 for the last 8 weeks. So hopefully they learned from that, and hopefully learned from last week's loss against Lawrence North, and, now they'll, finish strong and finally get that elusive state championship.
2 receivers going wide to the left, 1 man to the right. Swanson going to work out of the gun. Snap, right side, quarterback keeper, bus free, still going, driving, leans ahead, ball's loose, it's in the end zone. Avon says they got it back. They did. It's a
Oh, my
touchback,
God.
and it'll be Avon ball up at the 20-yard line. What a break.
And I'll tell you, Rob, that's even better than if Swanson had been brought down, like, say, at the 4, because then, you got the shot of, like, fumbling and Ben Davis gets a safety or a touchdown. Now we've got it at the 20.
Yeah, boy, what a break that time. Swanson was driving. It looked like on second effort he had the first down, but as he was being taken to the turf, the ball came loose. It looked like he may have been stretching that football towards the end zone. And again, of course, there is no replay in high school football. We're pretty much the only people with a camera out here. I'll tell you, our lens isn't good enough to get it because we're doing a wide shot of the field. So a huge break for the Avon Orioles. They'll get it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
So now Avon, Avon in the driver's seat, up 21-6 with the ball.
Hessen going to be flushed out, goes on a run. He's across the 20, up near the 25, and not actually a really nice game that time. Ended up picking up 7 yards. 3:08 left to go in the first half.
Yeah, Avon can really afford to relax now as they give Hessen credit for 7. His first rush went for 1.
Yeah, and well, again, we'll get to that here in just a second as the action fast and furious. Yeah. Out of the gun, Hessen, 2:45 and counting. Snap, quarterback keeper. Now he's going to spin out of trouble, leans ahead, and he will take a sack, and the flag flies in late, and that may have been a face mask, Lex.
It could have been. It was hard to tell from my vantage point. But, yeah, it looked like they might have one of those guys who sacked Hessen might have grabbed the face mask. And even if not, even if it's just 3rd and 10.
Nope, it's on Avon. So
Okay.
It's going to be a legal use of the hands. Well, that could have been a been a face mask.
Yeah.
I may have been correct.
So, yeah. So 2:37 to go here in the second quarter, just like the room number in The Shining. That's what we have on the clock now. And so anyway, Avon now, the main thing you got to do is just don't give Ben Davis a chance to get any more points. Don't give Ben Davis a chance to make it a one-possession game here in the half. If you can get another score and make it a 3-possession lead, all the better. But the main thing, if you just go into halftime leading 21-6 and you come out knowing that you're going to get the ball first to start off the second half and you go down and methodically score a touchdown, then you've got the game. You can be about 95+% sure won.
Yeah, be very careful back here. The clock will wind again. Ben Davis has 1 timeout left. So Avon now facing a 2nd and 20. Can at least get this thing down under 2 minutes, as Ben Davis will probably, depending on what happens in this play here, use one of those timeouts. And now there's a whistle, and we've got a timeout called by Avon.
Yeah. But, Rob, I was starting to say, you mentioned how you're not going to miss going to Westfield and Zionsville and wherever else are Fishers this year. And, yeah, I'm with you. Not only do I like to stay I like to stay away from 465 teams. I also, and this comes into play for Plainfield, I like to stay away from US 31 teams, Franklin, Greenwood, Whiteland, because the traffic is so bad. I work in downtown Indianapolis. I got to go to any of those schools. I leave no later than 3:30.
Yeah, it's a great point, Leck. It's things a lot of people don't think about because, look, we can't arrive at the game, 10 minutes before kickoff. We got to be here an hour early to set everything up, make sure it's working, get everything tested. So for example, I was here and Leck beat me here 5:45 to get everything set up. So you can't just roll in like you're a fan. So you got really 2 options when you go to those places. You got to either get there, leave and get there at 5 o'clock, and then sit there for 2 hours.
Yes.
Or you're just late.
Yes. Yeah. And I'll tell you one lesson. It was almost this was a real oddity in my commentary career. I learned a valuable lesson back in 2016 when I was Tri-West's main commentator. I went up there where they were playing Lafayette. I arrived at the school, And I found out they don't play their home games at the school.
Yes.
And
yes.
I did not know that.
I also remember you going to Evansville for a game one year and trying to get in somewhere, if I recall. Or was it Evansville?
Where there's a flood. Yeah, it was when they played Modern Day. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a flood down there, and I didn't know about.
Back to pass. Going deep. And it is off the hands of the intended receiver. Nice try that time. Airing it out. That was number 13, Stovall, on the intended reception.
Hessen still 10 for 14 in this game.
Third down coming up now. Let's see what Avon elects to do. 2:13 left to go in the second quarter, I should say.
So Hessen was 17 for 26 last week, 10 for 14 tonight. So very accurate passer, 27 for 40 on the season, nearly 70%.
Three receivers wide two wide to the right, two to the left. Man working out of the gun is Hessen. Snap, passes low, gives it to McCray, fumbles it, but gets it up, and he's going to be tripped up in the backfield, taken down. Flag flies in late. Let's see what that was. McCray lucky that time. There was a low snap. Hessen picked it up off the turf, then got it to McCray, who bobbled it, was able to secure the pass after the handoff after the bobble. It's going to be a block in the back. I'm sure Ben Davis is going to decline that because it would be fourth and basically 20 yards.
And so that actually was a good defensive stand for Ben Davis. They're going to get the ball back probably around midfield with some time to do something with it.
Yeah, so as you said, Leck, a big turn of events there as Avon will have to punt the football from their own end zone.
And, it's an example, never to give away opportunities, never to leave points on the field. You take away the interception, and, you take away a couple of the penalties that stop Avon from getting a first down of this drive. The game could be pretty well over already. As it is, Ben Davis is going to get the ball with a chance to make it a one-possession game here.
They will let that clock wind inside of a minute 50. Punt is away. It's clean. Shorter punt. It's going to hit. Takes an Avon bounce, and it'll be down at the 40. And some of the Avon coaching staff upset with the player who downed the ball as it was continuing to bound away from the Avon end zone.
It might have rolled probably not much, but a few more yards maybe.
And when you're playing Ben Davis, you take whatever you can get.
Yes. And, the Giants' offense, after some early struggles and struggling a lot last week against Brownsburg, starting to, hit, it looks like they're finally starting to get some good offense together. Swanson's had a couple of runs, and then he had that 56-yard pass to Peters on the last possession.
So here we go. Snap, stretch play. Avon snips it out. No gain on the play, as that time it was number 4, Fuentes.
Yeah, they actually lost a couple there.
Second down coming up. Ben Davis moving quickly as they're got just a minute 25 left to go here in the half. Snap, back to pass. Rolling right side. Rolling. Throwing on the run. It's going to be picked off on the far side of the field. And that was number 21 for the Avon Orioles, Austin Mayo. Nice job, Avon defense. And they're in good field position, Leck. They're back in it.
Yeah, so it's been a game of a lot of wild momentum shifts. Each quarterback now having thrown one interception. Now, Swanson last week in the opener against Brownsburg had a rough game, completed only 7 of 19 passes, 51 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He's done a little better tonight. He's completed 5 of 8 for 73 yards, but that interception there, that interception there is very, very costly. And now Avon taking over, and still also with 2 timeouts left and a minute 13, 63 yards away from the end zone. So the Orioles, they got time to do something here. They got 3 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. McCray, the running back. Hessen in shotgun. Takes snap. Screen pass over, and it nearly intercepted, but Stovall gets it. First down to Moore, test to the 40. Down inside, he's the 10. So that's going to be a gain of more than 50 yards there. So now Avon hurrying up to get into formation. Sorry, I just lost my...
Yeah, so quickly, all the way a minute 3 to go. That ball is going to be spotted inside the 10. So it's first and goal for the Orioles
54 yards there on that pass, by the way.
And he went out of bounds. So now a timeout going to be called by Ben Davis. And we're going out of bounds, stop the clock. So Avon in the best of all worlds right there.
Yes, indeed. So Peters, that puts him over 200 yards for the game already. He had over 300 last week in the loss.
Hey, just a reminder, if you're listening tonight, if you're watching tonight, let us know. At Rob M. Kendall on Twitter. At Rob M. Kendall on Twitter. Let us know where you're watching from. We'll try to get you on the air. And we'd love to hear from you. We're all in this, that's the saying, right? We're all in this together, and more so than ever. Probably a lot of folks who'd love to be out here in person. Can't be. They're watching on TV. So let us know. We'll try to get you a mention, maybe a retweet out there, and let us know where you're enjoying the home opener for the Avon Orioles tonight here on Audio Sports Online at Rob M. Kendall on Twitter.
Home opener, and it looks like the first win of the season, most likely. The Orioles up by 15, 9 yards away from taking a 3-touchdown lead. And see a lot of students are stomping on the bleachers there. It looks like the student section, and good to see a very active student section here. So 21-6 here, your score.
Two receivers wide to the left, one man to the right. McCray, the lone man in the backfield. I'm sorry, 3 men to the left, one man to the right. McCray, the lone man in the backfield. Hessen out of the gun. Snap. Pass. Incomplete. Flag flies. That's going to be a hold or an interference, one of the two. And it was intended that time for number 85 for the Avon Orioles, Remington Gall.
Yeah, so a minute to go now. Avon, I guess it'll be half the distance to the goal. It's not a spot foul like it is in the NFL. So the Orioles now have it at the 5. So now Hessen in shotgun, McCray the running back. We've got Hall lined up to the right. 3 receivers lined up to the left, including Stovall.
Out of the gun. Snap. Give. McCray cuts it back. Room to run. In for the score. Touchdown, Avon. And with 56 seconds to go, Avon extends the lead to 27-6.
Yes, he did. Yes, that's right. And McCray scores another touchdown there.
So the potent Avon offense strikes again, and they now lead by 21 points at 27-6. Bandy on to attempt the extra point.
Yeah, so 2 touchdowns apiece, and the extra point's good, so Bandy's 4 for 4 tonight, making the lead 28-6. So now we got 2 players with multiple touchdowns for Avon tonight. Hall has 2 through the air, and McCray has 2 on the ground.
Yeah, pretty much other than that one interception, pretty much we got a couple penalties here and there, but in terms of big plays, the one interception, Mark Bless, pretty much a perfect half of football for his team.
Yeah, I would say it's about an A- or B+ performance by Avon. The interception was disappointing, and the other thing, the penalties. There have been too many penalties tonight. Other than that, though, it's been really good execution on both sides of the ball. Much improvement on especially on the rushing defense, which was the Achilles heel last week against Lawrence North. And keep in mind, last week, when Lawrence North took that early 2-possession lead, because they almost always rush, as you probably remember, Rob, it's very hard to come back from multiple possessions against a team like that runs off so much time off the clock.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Leck. And again, it'll give them a chance to make it the Krishan McCray show in the second half. They'll get the ball to begin the second half.
But nevertheless, things looking very comfortable now for Avon, but still, you want them to keep executing through the second half.
Short kick. It'll be taken on the fly at the 10, across the 15, and I'll just feed up near the 35-yard line. It'll bring up first down and 10 for Ben Davis. Let's see if they're going to try to move the ball or they're content to let it go into the locker room.
Well, they're out of timeouts, but it's hard to imagine that they don't go for something. I mean, they did have that one 56-yard pass earlier from Swanson to Peters, so I would think they'd try at least something like that. You got very little to lose at this point. So I'd be surprised if they don't take at least one or two shots downfield.
They'll put it at the 34. And it looks like they are going to at least give it the old college try. Snap, back to pass. Swanson rolling right side, throws it up, and it is going to be tipped up, incomplete, nearly picked off. And I'll tell you what, that's the risk you run, Leck, is that easily could have been intercepted.
Yeah, it could have been, but like I said, Ben Davis is in a desperate situation now, in danger of an 0-2 start, in danger of dropping its third consecutive regular season game to Avon. Like I said, this is the seventh year of this series, which I hope continues for a long time. Natural geographic rivalry that they were unable to have for many years because both teams played in a 10-team league. So anyway, 44 seconds to go now, 2nd and 10 for the Giants.
Little pass to the near side of the field. It's caught. He will run out of bounds up near the 40.
So a solid gain there. That was so it looks like that was I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong roster there. Sorry about that. Dylan Carnell there. He is a senior for the Giants. They give him credit for 9 yards there.
3 to the right, 1 man to the left. Out of the gun. Snap, back to pass. Steps up, going down the field. It is
overthrown.
Incomplete. Yeah, overthrown. So now a decision time.
Might as well go for it.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if they, especially as many times as they've gone for it on fourth down already. I believe if my count is correct, Rob, this is the 6th time in the first half of going for it on fourth down between the two teams.
Well, let's see what they can do here. 31 seconds to go, and again, if you give Avon the ball back here, they're certainly could score with 2 timeouts left. So needing to pick a timeout or pick a first down up here. Swanson has it, drives ahead, spinning. It's going to be close. I don't know. It's going to depend on the spot.
Yeah,
that's close. That's real close.
On forward progress, he might have gotten it by the. Yes.
Yeah, they're going to wave him forward.
He got him.
That was real close. Nice job by the Avon defense that time. Really trying to put the hit on him.
18 seconds to go and counting, however, so still not much time. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Swanson takes it.
Back to pass. Going deep. Down the sideline. It's up.
Got it. He got it. There's a late flag.
It was a catch with three.
The referee's waving it off. Maybe he stepped out of bounds.
Well, there's 3 seconds to go in the ball game, but as you said, or the ball game's first half, but as you said, a flag's on the field. So we will see what.
If it counts, then it would be a gain of about 30 yards. A pass interference. Okay, it's pass interference, so I guess it would be declined then.
So the pass will stand. There will be 1 play left in the half.
So it's a 30-yard pass there from.
And they'll have to snap it as soon as they put the ball down because the clock will wind.
Yes.
So let's see here. Ben Davis waiting for the ball to go down, and as soon as that official marks in the. Yeah, there it is.
So a quick spike.
He spiked it. Did he get it off in time? Now flag flies. So let's see what all that was. That was a lot of craziness. Ben Davis was trying to spike the ball. The flag flew in, and if that's on Ben Davis, that's the end of the half. And the way Ben Davis is looking.
Intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding.
How can a spike be intentional grounding? I mean, a spike is legal in high school ball, isn't it?
Well, that
I
that's
thought.
that's news to me. Let's see how adamantly the Ben Davis coaching staff argues that play. And
I don't understand that one at all.
well, since we are the Avon announcers, we're very thrilled with that, Lex. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay, I got you.
I
Okay,
got you. All
thanks for the
right.
clarification. Yeah, one of the somebody here in the press box said he dropped the ball and then spiked it. So okay, I did not know that was a rule. So I just learned something new. 43 years of watching football, and I'm still learning.
All right, so one of the things they've asked us to do this year, for those of you watching at home, is try to bring the focus on all the things that happen here at the Avon football game. Of course, many years we've been out here and we bring you the football game and we talk football because that's what we're been hired to do, and that's what we're here to do is bring Avon football. And yes, we capture some of the other sights and sounds, but with so many parents not able to attend the games this year, friends of people participating and stuff, the Avon school system and the athletic department has asked that we showcase these people and make sure to point it out, make sure to give them the floor. And so we're going to do that this year with the band here at halftime. And for those of you who've been watching these home games for years, we show you the band, but we don't really spend too much time talking about them, pointing them out, et cetera, because we're talking about football. And we're going to talk about what you saw in the first half there, but we do want to point out that we will be bringing you this wide shot. If you are watching at home, we, of course, backed that camera up there so that you could see more of the field. We'll get that back in a little closer once the second half of football starts, but we want to show you as many kids in the Avon band as we can. And, of course, every year, Avon Band, one of the best bands in the state of Indiana, one of the best bands in the country, and sadly their competitions mainly canceled this year due to the coronavirus pandemic, but these kids are still out here. They're on the field. They're going to be doing their halftime presentation for the folks that are here, and so we certainly want to showcase that and point it out for those of you who are watching tonight here on AudioSportsOnline.com. And it's weird. I was thinking as I was coming over here tonight, when you're in your car and you're traveling and you're coming and everything kind of feels the same, and then you get here and you realize how much different, 1 year is. Because 1 year ago we were out doing high school. We were both out doing high school football. I don't know whether you were at Avon or doing Avon, or I was at Plainfield or whatever.
I did this game last year at Ben Davis.
Okay.
Between these two, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and I was at Plainfield doing a football game then, and so it's a weird world where just 1 year ago we weren't thinking a thing about coronavirus or the world being a different place, and it's just crazy how much different 1 year can change things.
Or even in January when you and I were out at Liston doing the county basketball tournament.
Yes.
For the boys and girls, and so things can change. But as bleak as things looked, I remember during that dark time, especially March, February, May, where there was nothing at all, athletic-wise. And, and I kept on thinking, okay, surely it's going to improve enough to have high school football. And then finally when it got into, July, August, I was really having doubts. So I was just so thrilled. And, like I said, I was, just 2 or 3 weeks ago, I'd have been willing to settle for commentating the Edinburgh versus Southside homeschool 7th grade game, But, it's just I was so happy when I found out we were gonna get to do the Avon home games, and not only that, but they're being broadcast for free to all the fans, who are unable to make it out here. And, not necessarily people who are even, staying home for health reasons. Maybe you're a grandparent who's living, across the country. And, a generation ago, you couldn't have, watched or even, heard any of your grandchild's games. But now we can bring it to you up close and personal. And, hopefully later in the season we'll get to do some road games also, and then hopefully we'll get to do some playoff games, and hopefully there'll be a lot more playoff games for the Orioles than there were last season, where they had the disappointing first-round playoff loss. Avon, they've had, about 300 days to think about that very painful loss. And, Rob, one thing that I think that I've noticed this in 40-plus years of watching sports. When a team starts off the season with a painful loss, it can do one of two things. it can break the team, break their spirit, break their confidence, and then they just, check out, and the rest of the season.
Let's do a little bit of pause here. We'll continue to commentate, but first I'm going to turn my microphone up and put it out here so you can hear the marching black and gold.
Let's put our hands together one more time for your Avon Marching Black and Gold.
Well, thank you to the Avon Marching Orioles for that halftime entertainment. I'm a native of Madison, Indiana. I attended Madison Consolidated High School, and I was in the marching band. I wasn't athletically gifted, unfortunately, but I was musically gifted, and my brother and I both marched competitively and had a lot of fun doing that. And I remember when we would go to our competitions, I was always, we had, I think, 70 or 80 people in the band. I was always awestruck when I saw the really big marching bands like this one here that we saw tonight. So it brings back a lot of memories to those days there in the late 80s. I graduated from high school there in 1989. But for those of you just joining us, we're coming at you live here on audiosportsonline.com. This is our first broadcast of the season for Avon football. The Orioles started off the season last week with a 62-34 loss at Lawrence North up in northeastern Indianapolis. However, They're getting back on track tonight, beating the arch rival Ben Davis Giants by a score of 28-6, a game in which Avon has thoroughly dominated in most ways and has shown vast improvement in their big weakness from that Lawrence North loss, which is rushing defense. So let's take a look at how the game has progressed. With 5:28 to go in the first quarter, Avon opened the scoring on a 12-yard touchdown rush by Krishawn McCray. Nick Bandy's extra point made it 7-0. And then on the first play of the second quarter, with Avon on the Ben Davis 40 and close to scoring a touchdown, Dylan Moore intercepted a pass for Ben Davis, returned it all the way for the touchdown. However, the two-point conversion run failed, and Avon returned the lead. Avon retained the lead by a score of 7-6. And then on the first play of the ensuing drive, Henry Hessen passed 71 yards to Joe Hall for a touchdown. Bandy's extra point made it 14-6. Then later in the quarter, Hessen passed 10 yards again to Hall for a touchdown. Bandy's extra point made it 21-6. And finally, with 56 seconds to go in the first half, McCray scored his second touchdown of the game, a five-yard rush. And Bandy's extra point brought us to our current score of 28-6. So two players, Joe Hall and Krishawn McCray, with two touchdowns apiece for the Orioles. And by the way, that gives Hall three touchdowns already through the first 6 quarters of the game. Wallace Stovall had 4 last week in the loss at Lawrence North. However, he does not have any tonight. He's been relatively quiet. Now, at this time, let's take a look at what the other Hendricks County teams are up to. All of them are in action this week, and starting in Class 5, in Class 6A, the third-ranked Brownsburg Bulldogs are in action actually tomorrow night rather than tonight. They host National Power Cincinnati St. Xavier. Then we actually have a couple of Hendricks County teams going at each other tonight. From Class 5A, the Plainfield Quakers, they're out in Liston visiting the Class 3A Tri-West Bruins. Last week, Plainfield lost its season opening game. However, they were very competitive against the number 3 team in the state, the Carmel Greyhounds, losing only 31-6, which is a moral victory for a 5A team to lose to Carmel by that margin. Meanwhile, Tri-West got a solid road win at Speedway, 34-13. Then the number 4 ranked team in Class 3A, the Danville Warriors, in the first season under new head coach Jamie Comer. Last week in their opener, they beat Franklin 21-7, a 5A team. Tonight, the Warriors go to play another higher class team, the Class 4A Lebanon Tigers. And finally, Cascade down in Class 2A, they host the Beech Grove Hornets. Cascade, a really tough rebuilding year because they lost about 12 or 13 three-year starters to graduation after going 5-6 the last 2 seasons. And now they're also under a new head coach, Connor Simmons. No word on whether he's related to Jason Simmons, the Ben Davis coach, or not. But anyway, Cascade lost last week to the number 3 team in Class 2A, Triton Central. Tonight, the Cadets have their home opener.
All right, so let's touch base kind of where we're at, reset everything. I'm Rob Kendall. He's Lex Zorn. Coming to you live tonight from Avon High School, where the Avon Orioles lead the Ben Davis Giants by a score of 28-6. Avon will get the ball to begin the second half. And we welcome those of you joining us tonight. Obviously, limited capacity. Many who would like to be here tonight couldn't be, but that's why we're out here. And again, we want to thank Brad Holsinger and the entire Avon athletic staff who put in a lot of work to make this possible. 1, for the game to be possible. 2, for fans to be able to be in the stands in some capacity tonight. And 3, for us to be able to be out here. And I'll tell you, I don't think I'm breaking any confidentialities or divulging any corporate secrets. But I'll tell you, it was kind of a race to the wire to see whether we'd be able to do this. And Brad and I talked several times over the past couple of weeks to figure out a way to make this possible. A lot of schools had done, these pay-per-view broadcasts, and I just don't think Brad wanted to do that. I think he wanted people who, through no fault of their own, couldn't be out here to be able to view the games free of charge, as you've always been able to do. And Brad's always been super supportive of us. But last year, as an example, home games were audio only because people could come out to the games, and they
Right.
want people to come out because that's how they make money as a program. It's how the athletic program is funded. But this year, he said, "Look, we want to have you guys back out here. Let's go ahead and do it free of charge for the user," and that's where these sponsors really stepped up. We've told you about them all night long. Hendricks Regional Health, Andy Moore, Avon Orthodontics, BSN, Chick-fil-A, LM Spirit Gear, Avon Oral Surgery, Beacon Sign, BJ's Restaurant, Fry Electric, Harmony Baptist Church, Bailey Family Dental, Ralph's Muffler, Mosquito Joe's, Larkin Collision. All of these folks have really stepped up and have been such a huge part of making it possible for us to be out here tonight. So if you know any of those folks, if you go in those businesses, tell them thank you. Say thanks for supporting Avon Athletics. Thanks for making these broadcasts possible, because hearing from you will urge them to continue to do that, and they really do need to be saluted for their help and support in making these broadcasts possible, and broadcasts possible next week that we'll have against Hamilton Southeastern.
Yeah, that's right. And, we always are thankful for our sponsors and want you to support them. But we emphasize that even more this year because of everything that these kids were up against in their fight just to have a season. And the sponsors really came through in a big way and allowed us to not only have the game, but to bring it to you. And at the same time, I also give a salute to all the fans who did make it out here tonight. We don't have the kind of crowd we would normally have for a game of this magnitude, but we do have several hundred fans. I don't know, maybe 500-600 or so. And I'll tell you, 500 or 600 is a whole lot better than zero when it comes to energy and emotion. As you've probably noticed for about the last 6 weeks, when you have an audience of zero, it's very unpleasant to watch. There's just no emotion in it. So, this is a game where, the fans who've showed up have been great. They've added a lot of, support to the kids. And it's so important for these kids to look up and see people in the fans, and hear people it's so important for these kids to look up in the stands, in the bleachers, and see and hear people cheering for them, and so thanks to all of them as well. And to those of you who weren't able to make it or just didn't feel safe, we're so glad to be able to bring you the games live and free of charge. And, we're looking forward to doing that all season. And hopefully things will be back to normal next season. But, hey, at least we got a season this year.
And the plan for right now is we will bring you all of the home games. Now, this could change. They could, we've had some people ask, what about the Brownsburg game? I don't know yet. All I know is we will be out here tonight. We will be out here next week, and then we will see what happens going forward. Again, it's subject to change as they continue to learn more about coronavirus, as these schools begin to kind of come to a little bit more of an understanding on how to keep people safe and how many people they can have here, where they can have people. I mean, let's face it, like you and I have been in broadcast booths in this very press box over the years where there were 4 sets of broadcast teams, all packed shoulder to shoulder, and those are just things that they don't want, and different press boxes are designed different ways, and so some schools have a home press box and an away press box, some have big press boxes, so we will see. We do know, though, we will have all 4 of the Avon home games brought to you, and we will see what else happens as it emerges. And make sure to tell your friends that they can watch the games free of charge here on Audio Sports Online. And if you're watching the game tonight, again, let us know. We want to know now more than ever where you're watching from. Let me know on Twitter, @RobMKendall, @RobMKendall. We'll try to get your name read on the air because Avon football is one big family. And whether you're watching for the band or for the dance team before the game or the football game itself, let us know @RobMKendall on Twitter.
And, Rob, this is my 9th season of commentary here with Audio Sports Online, and it's just I've been out here to Avon dozens of times for a wide variety of events, and most of the time when I'm out here, there's usually at least 2 or 3 other events going on at the same time, because this has become such a hub. The facilities here are so great that the school hosts a lot of events. And they always have just a great welcoming staff. And I will say, to echo what Rob just said, it's unusual to be here for a varsity game and have room to spread out. Usually we're packed in here like sardines. And this is the size of this press box is above average. This is one of the bigger press boxes I've been in. But, they just because Avon is usually a top 10 team, they have a lot of media people here normally.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so we are just about ready to begin our second half. Ben Davis will kick off to Avon. Avon leads it 28-6. Again, I'm Rob Kendall. He's Lex Zorn. Thanks for joining us tonight here on AudioSportsOnline.com. And again, we appreciate you tuning in with us wherever you are listening from.
Well, to start off, Avon gets the ball first here in the third quarter with a 28-6 lead, and if they get a touchdown on this opening drive, it's hard to think of any reasonable scenario by which Ben Davis comes back to win this game. And even if Ben Davis gets a flat-out stop here, their margin for error is very low. Now, they did, as the half went on, show some improvement on offense, but this game clearly at this point is Avon's to lose, which would send the Orioles into Hoosier Crossroads Conference play a week from tonight with a lot of momentum, and certainly a good way to get back on track after that disappointing 28-point loss to Lawrence North last week. Although the loss probably was not quite as bad as a lot of Avon fans think.
Yeah, I have a feeling it will be the Krishan McCray show here in the second half, Lex.
Yeah, and I think then we'll get to that point that us commentators hate where they empty the bench and bring a lot of...
Onside kick. It's a live ball. It does not go the 10 yards, though, and that'll go out of bounds, and it'll be Avon ball in great field position. They pulled a New Orleans Saints against Colts in the Super Bowl, and it didn't work.
Did. Yeah. And I just realized, Rob, that one of the middle bank of headlights across the field from us is out.
Oh, yeah. Boy, I just noticed that as well.
And I noticed it was a little bit hard to see the ball there, and of course that explains it. So,
well, just something else to add to the list of things to do in 2020 for the Avon athletic staff.
Yes.
Yeah, boy, it does look a little dark there on that screen, doesn't it? Yeah.
Hopefully you fans can hear it well, can see it well enough here.
All right, so first down and 10 for Avon. Great field position, and let's see what they elect to do.
Which is part of the reason why they've done so well tonight.
Yes, absolutely. Hessen takes the snap. There's the give. It is McCray. He'll stretch it to the near side of the field, and he's going to be hit and dropped in the backfield. Huge loss on the play that time, all the way back near the 50. It'll bring up second and long.
Very good start to the second half for the Ben Davis defense. They need some momentum here from somewhere.
Yeah, down 3 scores, 22 points. The lone Ben Davis touchdown came on an interception return. So offensively, they were at the goal line. Unfortunately for them, they fumbled, but they have not been able to score a touchdown on offense.
Yeah, they've had a couple of good drives. They just haven't finished them.
Second and long coming up, second and 16, the board says. So we will go with that. Out of the shotgun snap. Hessen has time. Now going to float out of it, throws it down the field, incomplete. And it'll bring up third and long for Avon. So exactly what Ben Davis was looking for, third and long for Mark Bless and company.
Hessen now 11 for 16, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So that brings him to 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions through the first game and a half of the season. So certainly on track to get some Division I offers. And he's certainly boosted by the school he plays for, Avon, now becoming a quarterback high school here in Indiana.
Hessen flushed out, rolling right side, thrown it to the far side of the field. Got a man caught. Did he get a foot down? He did.
Oh, my God.
A catch on the far side of the field. I think that was number 13, Wallace Stovall.
That brings Stovall to the 100-yard mark.
First down at 10. Boy, what a play. What a play.
Yeah, and devastating for the Ben Davis defense, too.
Back to pass. Flushed out right side. Rolling. Hessen on the run. He's going to run out of bounds. And it'll be, a gain of about 3 on the play. Go ahead, Leck.
Oh, that play by Stovall, it reminded me the thing that amazed me the most about Marvin Harrison during his glory years was how amazing he was when Peyton would throw it right to the sideline and Harrison was able to make the catch and get both feet down in bounds. That was incredible how he had a knack for doing that.
Yeah, really a big-time reception right there.
Hesson 5 yards on that keeper. Only his third keeper of the game. He's 3 for 13 on the ground now.
Hesson works out of the gun. Snap. Give McCray. Slips through a couple tackles. He's off to the races.
He's got it.
Touchdown, Krishawn McCray. How about that?
McCray with his third touchdown of the game, and that should just about put the game away. 34-6 now with the conversion pending. 13 for 92 on the ground for Krishawn McCray, including 3 touchdowns.
Couldn't have drawn it up much better than that for the Avon Orioles, as they will now look to extend the lead. Bandy on to attempt the extra point.
So devastating for Ben Davis that they failed to get Avon's offense off the field when it was 3rd and 16, as Bandy's extra point is no good, his first miss of the game.
34-6. Avon extends the lead.
So it looks like it's going to be a very, very calm second half. And last year in this very game, it was a little bit. The atmosphere was a little different last year because last year this game was on Labor Day weekend. This year Labor Day weekend is. Last year Labor Day was, I think it was September 2nd. This year it's September 7th. So next weekend will be Labor Day weekend.
Rick and Chris Morphew listening to our broadcast tonight. Thanks to them. Hey, Hendricks Regional Health is proud to be the indispensable healthcare partner for the Avon Community School Corporation. Our sports medicine team at Avon High School is led by Dr. Mark Brewer. Our team specializes in injury prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation to keep you in the game. Learn more at hendricks.org/Avon Sports.
Well, last week, Krishawn McCray was Avon's only 100-yard rusher this year, but he did not score a touchdown last week. This week, he's 13 rushes, 92 yards, 3 touchdowns. And meanwhile, Joe Hall, 2 touchdowns for the Orioles.
10:50 left to go in the third. Avon's lead now 34-6.
8:45 your time of day. Looks like we're not going to get out of here till probably 9:30 or so. I remember last year when I commentated Plainfield down at Whiteland, and now Bandy kicks it into the end zone. That's his 3rd touchback of the game, I believe. Yeah, he had 2 last week as well. But I remember, though, the not counting running clock games, the shortest game I ever commentated was last year. It was Plainfield at Whiteland. It was over at 8:54.
Well, and I assume the mercy rule is in effect again this year, and not that we're quite there yet, but.
Yeah, I think it has to. Oh, yeah, that's right. They changed it. I mean, I think it used to be 50 points. Now they moved it down to 35 or something. So, yeah, well, then if yeah, that's right. I forgot about that, because in the old days it was you had to. I think it had to be 50. No, let me.
Well, they just instituted it. What was it, last year? The first time they had it out there. There's a run for first down.
I think last year was the first time it was mandatory. I think before it had to be mutual consent of the coaches. So that was a pretty good run there. I believe that was Swanson there. Got about 12 yards up the middle. So they give Swanson credit for 12. He's been the biggest bright spot for the Giants. He's 14 for 89 on the ground. Through the air, 7 for 11, 112 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. It looks like we got an injury here on the field. The players down at the 15.
All right, let's take a moment to thank Andy Moore. Andy Moore, they have you covered for all of your automotive needs, new, used, parts, or service. Go to andymoore.com where you get more for your money. And Avon Orthodontics, the office of Greg Johnson and Nick Broussard, has been creating smiles since 1995. BSN Sports is a proud sponsor and official provider of uniforms, apparel, spirit wear, and equipment for Avon Athletics. And Chick-fil-A Avon. Order on the app and skip the lines. Download Chick-fil-A one today. All right, looks like the injured Orioles going to be all right, walking off under his own volition.
That's good. Yeah, I'll tell you, I've been really lucky. You know, this is my 94th game as a varsity commentator. I've seen very, very few serious injuries. Very few.
Well, it really speaks to the conditioning and the shape that these players are in.
And he got a good run there. So 2 consecutive. Yeah, Fuentes there. He got picked up about 12 or 13. You're right, Rob. The conditioning has just come such a long way over the years, as they give Fuentes credit for 13 there. I have him 7 for 18 now, 10-11 to go here in the third quarter. Avon on top 34-6 over Ben Davis in this battle of top 10 teams and geographic rivals. So Fuentes again up for about 2 yards this time. So 9:44 to go here in the third quarter. Avon on its way to its first win of the season. Our broadcast debut here on Audio Sports Online. Back for our 15th consecutive year covering Oriole football. We'll be bringing you all 4 home regular season games.
And that is a carry by Fuentes. Short gain on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
Okay, give him credit for 3 on that one. 9:09 to go here in the third quarter. And, yeah, I believe that, it has to be a 35-point lead in the second half to instate the running clock. And, of course, we might not get to that point. Ben Davis is doing very well on this drive. So now a keeper there by Swanson, but they're ready for him, and he's brought down short of the first down. I think he got 1 or 2. That was a hard hit, too.
4th down coming up. And he needs about, 2 yards there, Leck?
They're marking him 4th and 2 at the Avon 47. Ben Davis has done better on offense tonight than they did against Brownsburg, but hasn't been as, hold that thought. Screen pass is good, so we got the first down there, and he brings it out to about the 35.
And so 1st down for the Ben Davis Giants as they trail it by 28 points, 34-6. 8 minutes left to go in the ballgame's third quarter. Ben Davis with it 1st and 10 from the Avon 35-yard line.
Dylan Moore there on the reception for 11 yards.
Pass to the far side of the field,
Peters
cuts
there.
it back, and nothing doing. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
7:20 to go here in the third quarter. 2 receivers to each side.
And to give straight up the middle again, nothing doing. Nice job by the Avon defense that time to step up. So a 3rd down and long coming up for Ben Davis. Obviously every possession very important right now. And they'll be facing a 3rd down and 11.
So now they got Fuentes there for a loss of 1 there. And I'll tell you, if Ben Davis does not get a score on this drive and Ben Davis and Avon responds and gets a touchdown, then I guess we could go to the running clock then.
Snap back to pass. Steps up, throws, overshot the intended receiver on the far side of the field. And that'll bring up 4th down and long for the Ben Davis Giants.
It was, go ahead.
Go ahead, Leck.
It was hard for me to tell in the low light, but it looked like somebody might have gotten a fingertip on that too. So I assume, though, that they will go for it. Of course, keep in mind that Swanson, the quarterback, is also the punter for the Giants. And I've seen that several teams do that over all my years of commentary. It's not as unusual as you'd probably think.
Snap, back to pass. Throws down the middle, tipped up, incomplete. Ben Davis wanted a flag, didn't get it, so we'll get a turnover on downs. Hey, are you in need of screen print or embroidery? Visit us online at lmspiritgear.com. That's lmspiritgear.com. And Avon Oral Surgery would like to wish all Avon athletes good luck this year. Go Orioles. Beacon Sign Company, the official sign company for Avon Sports. And hungry? How about BJ's Restaurant Avon? Come visit us after the game for pizza and Pizookies. Proud sponsor of Avon Athletics. Go Orioles.
Well, Rob, I normally don't like running clocks, but since you and I have a 10 o'clock game tomorrow, I wouldn't mind getting home a little bit earlier. So anyway, Avon aiming to, I guess, get that touchdown and go to the running clock here.
Hessen working out of the gun. Snap, back to pass. Has time, fires it, caught in the center of the field.
Green broke the tackle. He's past the 45.
Yeah, that was number 85 for Avon. Johnny on the spot all night. Remington Gall.
Do you remember the 80s television show Remington Steele?
I do.
Okay,
I was very young or / not alive, but I remember it.
Yeah, I just wonder if that's where he got his name, because that's the only other person I know of with the first name Remington. Gall 4 for 68 in this game.
And it's a short gain that time up the middle.
I believe that's Jones with his first carry of the game.
Number 1, Jaden Jones, listed at 5'6", 155-pound sophomore.
Yeah, he's bigger than Jalen Love, though.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Avon has done a tremendous job over the years with that running back position.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Indeed, they have. And, of course especially they do a great job at the quarterback position. Brandon Peters, Cameron Meisner, now Henry Hessen.
Quarterback factory, Leck.
Yep.
And there's a quarterback keeper. Speaking of Hessen, he's got room to run across the 40, still going across the 35, taken down near the 30.
Got the first, yeah. So that'll be a pickup there of about 7 or 8 yards for Hessen, who got 3 or 4 yards after contact. Hessen's fourth keeper of the game. They give him credit for 9 on that one. I have him 4 for 22. There, right. First 10 at the 32 for Avon. 4:40 to go here in the third quarter. Avon on the way to an easy victory over Ben Davis. Who would have believed somebody would be talking about an easy Avon victory over Ben Davis a few years ago? Shows how far this program has come.
Hessen looking, rolling, throwing.
He's got it.
Is it caught? Is it a reception?
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Stovall.
Stovall with the catch. A little bit of a delayed signal there.
About 15. There is a flag, so let's see if it counts or not. Okay, it's against Ben Davis.
So they'll tack it on into the play, or would it be one they'd decline?
Let's see here. Based on where they're marking it, I guess they're declining it.
So it was declined. Sometimes you can tack those on to the end of the play, Leck.
That'd be nice, yeah.
So Hessen working out of the gun.
Hessen with 266 yards now through the air. How big that would be to start off the season with 2 consecutive 300-yard gains. And now a handoff to Jaden Jones. He's got some room. He's inside the 10, inside the 5. He could get, and he's going to be brought down about the 2.
Very close that time, Leck.
So I'm glad they're getting Jaden Jones some carries here, because he's going to be the man next year after McCray graduates. So they give Jones credit for 12 there. He had 3 on his first. .345 to go here and counting in the third quarter. There hasn't been much doubt about this one since about midway through the second quarter. So now there's a snap. Gives it to Jones. He's got some room on the left side. He could take it in. He does. Touchdown, Jaden Jones. First touchdown of his career, probably the first of many. And there's that 5-possession lead. And the extra point would make it 35 points and I guess put us into a running clock.
What a nice run that time by Jones.
The third, it's the sixth touchdown of Avon in this game. The third Avon player to score a touchdown. McCray has 3, Hall 2, and now Jaden Jones has 1. So the Orioles have scored on both possessions here in the third quarter. So what a special moment for that young man, only a sophomore.
Scoring update, Carmel taking on Cathedral tonight. Cathedral leading in the third quarter 27-13.
Wow. Yeah, it's a heck of a game. I remember I went back in 2008. I attended a game between those two schools at Carmel that was on ESPN. That was back when Carmel ended up losing the championship game to Cinder Grove that year. Carmel's quarterback was Morgan Newton, an option quarterback, maybe the best option quarterback in state history. He went on to be a starting quarterback at the University of Kentucky. And now it's score 41-6. Let's see if they put it into the running clock now. If that does happen, then that would end the game somewhere in the neighborhood of about 9:17 or 9:18. 8:59 is your time of day right now.
Just a reminder, fans, we need to make sure that we are masking up and social distancing so we can continue to be here to watch our teams in action.
And reminds me we need to remind folks of that as well. If you're going to come out to an Avon football game this year, you're one of those lucky people who gets tickets, they do remind you, the Avon athletic staff, to please mask up and practice social distancing at the games. In order to get into the games, you got to mask up and you got to social distance. So, again, just a reminder to anyone hoping to snag a ticket, or if you're lucky enough to snag a ticket, that is a requirement.
And another touchback for Bandy. And I'll tell you, I would like to also recognize the IHSAA for a couple of things. Number one, I'm so thankful that they ruled, you've heard the word essential a lot these last few months. And one problem with using the word essential to dictate government policy is that it's not a word that there's a set-in-stone definition of. There's a lot of subjectivity in it. But I'm so thankful that the IHSAA ruled, as I believe, that sports are essential to these students. It's an important part of their educational process. And so I'm thankful that they did allow the season to go on and that they've largely left it up to the schools to determine attendance policies. I think that's the best policy because, the best policy for one school might not be the best policy for another. So I think the best thing to do is to leave it up to the schools. So now Ben Davis, and we do have a running clock here, by the way. So now Swanson looks for a room, and he's brought down. I'll tell you, Swanson is a talented kid. He's got potential. He doesn't seem to have the kind of arsenal around him that a lot of past Ben Davis quarterbacks have.
Right.
And he's just sometimes, I think, been a little rattled and a little indecisive tonight. But certainly, if he settles down and, if the people around him improve, I think he's got a shot to accomplish, a lot of things this year.
Well, it'll bring up first down and 10 for the Giants. As you said, that clock is running, Leck, and that ball is going to be knocked short. Did he pick it off? Did he get off the turf? No signal yet. It is an interception for the Avon Orioles.
Yeah, so, that's Swanson's second interception of the game. He's done better tonight than he did last week.
So a first down and 10 coming up for Avon. 41-6 the score, 35-point lead for your Orioles, a running clock in place.
So I have Swanson 9 for 16, 123 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Last week only 51 yards through the air for Swanson on 7 of 19 passing. So there has been a marked improvement tonight. And he's done well on the ground, 16 for 85.
So let's see what Avon can do here. Looking to add to that lead. Hessen working out of the gun. Snap. Give.
Jones gets it again, and he gets up for about 3 or 4.
And that clock will continue to move. And so what a nice bounce-back game so far for Avon.
Yes.
Coming off that tough loss last week against Lawrence North. And just really coming out, playing great football. The only real blotch on the performance tonight was that interception that came back for a touchdown. And that will do it for the third quarter. 41-6 our score. Please remember to call Fry Electric for all your electrical needs. Harmony of Avon, loving people and sharing hope together. Experience more at harmonyofavon.com. Bailey Family Dental. The team at Bailey Family Dental is always warm and friendly, wanting to take care of all your dental needs from ages 1 to 100. Bailey Family Dental and Dr. Bailey and his staff provide excellent dental care without fear or concern. We at Bailey Family Dental would like to wish all athletic teams good luck. And head to Ralph's Muffler and Brake Shop, located next to Lowe's on Dan Jones Road. It's first come, first serve for your free estimate. Visit Ralph's Muffler and Brake Shop for all your car care needs. And Mosquito Joe's, we help you ditch the itch and make outside fun again. 317-350-1131. Go Orioles.
I would like to say to anybody who's maybe thinking about coming to a game and maybe you're a younger, healthier person, I would like to say that there's plenty of room to spread out here. They've set up, bleachers, in both end zones. So if you want to go to a game and be able to sit, without anybody within 10 or 20 feet of you, that's no problem. There's enough space here to do that if you really would like to be here to support these kids in person. So, you have a lot of options, and obviously you can always stay home and watch on here for free. And, thankfully we've got a lot of great sponsors, like Rob has mentioned earlier a few times, who've helped us do that. So the important thing is that, you support these kids in one way or another. You just figure out what the best way for you to support the kids is. And, of course, another way to do that is to support the sponsors. So when you support the sponsors, you're helping, Avon football stay afloat, especially in this really crazy time. And so now thrust into the end zone. We got a touchdown here.
What a start.
That's Remington Gull. That's his first touchdown of the game from 13 yards out by Henry Hessen with his third touchdown of the game. So Henry Hessen now 15 of 20, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. 8 touchdowns and 2 interceptions on the season. And now Sam Miller. She is good, and yes, I'm telling the truth when I say she, one of the very few girls in Indiana high school football. She was a deadly kicker for the JV team a couple of years ago. Tonight gets a varsity extra point there. So hats off to Sam. 48-6 your score now. Avon leading Ben Davis.
So all Avon in the second half, just as it was all Avon in the first half.
Yes. 13-yard touchdown pass from Remington Gull. From Henry Hessen to Remington Gull. And capped off by an extra point by Sam Miller. So glad to see that young lady get some varsity action, especially against a marquee opponent such as Ben Davis. In fact, I would venture to say that she is probably the first girl ever to score in a football game against Ben Davis.
Yeah, definitely a possibility.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. You know, I don't know if the IHSAA keeps those stats, but I believe I believe she's only the second girl I've ever commentated in a varsity football game. I commentated. I'll hold hold that thought.
And there's the kickoff taken by Ben Davis up across the 30-yard line near the 32. And the clock will continue to run with the Giants trailing the Orioles by a score of 48-6.
The first girl I ever commentated in varsity football played for a school that most people here in the Indianapolis area have probably never heard of, a place called Sullivan, which actually I'd never heard of either. And but yeah, she was there when I commentated Cascade playing at Sullivan back in 2018. Their starting kicker was a senior named Kathleen Ming, and she was at least a very good extra point kicker.
So 11-14 and counting. Ben Davis with the ball. First down and 10. They're down by 42 points at this point, 48-6. Snap, pass,
Incomplete.
incomplete. Quarterback in the ball game for Ben Davis is number 1. I believe that's Chris Patterson. Yes, Chris Patterson.
So he's a junior, 5'10", 165, a little undersized for a quarterback. Let's see how he does. The clock's still running, 10:38 and counting. And now he runs with it. Patterson is first keeper of the game. He gets up to about the 35, so a gain of 2 or 3. But, you know, that trip out to Sullivan, by the way, for those of you who don't know, it's a town of about 4,000. And it's in the far west of the state between Terre Haute and Vincennes. And let's see here. And they are the Golden Arrows, whatever that. And I asked a couple of people there, why are you all called the Golden Arrows? Nobody knew. Peterson, and it's intercepted. So Peterson, and he stays on his feet, and he could go all the way.
Is he still up? He still is up. Holy smokes.
There's a late flag. I believe that was Isaac Castro on the interception return for the touchdown. The clock continues to run. Let's see if it will count.
Boy, that was unbelievable. It looked like they had him wrapped up over there. And maybe a sideline infraction. That's an unbelievable display of athleticism. It is a sideline warning on Avon, but what an unbelievable interception.
Yes, and it will count. So 54-6 with the conversion pending, 9:24 to go here in the game. Avon, 2 years ago they won this game 41. 2 years ago, Avon beat Ben Davis 41-36. Last year they upped it to 41-17. This year the margin of victory even bigger. And keep in mind that in the previous 4 regular season meetings between these two schools, not only did Ben Davis win all of them, but they won 3 of the 4 by at least 30 points. So what a swing of the pendulum here. And now Sam Miller for second extra point. It is up, and it is that one no good.
But there is a flag.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the flag is.
Sam Miller, measurements listed at 5'1", 120. A couple of things one interesting thing about Sullivan is I believe that they're the only team I've ever commentated that ran the no-huddle offense, which is very impressive. Obviously, very well-coached team down there. And they're a very highly accomplished program in Class 3A.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on Ben Davis. So that means they'll get probably another shot at it here.
Yep. But I believe that was Isaac Castro there who got that touchdown for the Orioles. He is a 5'10", 165-pound junior. Be nice to see Sam get another point here, but we'll see. And now the players going out.
Okay, so they're choosing to take the penalty on the kickoff instead of the extra point.
Yeah, obviously they don't need the point at this. They don't need the point, right now in the game. 48-point lead, 9:24 to go.
She may want the point, though.
Yeah. But she does. That's something she can tell her grandkids about someday. She scored against Ben Davis, though.
Yep.
And probably the only girl ever to do so. But
this is interesting. The announcements they're doing right now over the PA, things you just never thought about before. They're telling parents where to exit, how to exit, where your child will meet you. It's just things that you don't even think of. And these are all things. Again, I know we've said it many times tonight, but these are all broken record, but all the credit to the Avon Athletic Department and the Avon School Corporation, because these are things they've had to think of.
Yeah,
that we don't think of, but they have to.
And I hope so much this is the only season we ever have to think of it. I mean, I hope that it'll be just, when I talk to my grandkids someday, it'll just be that weird year 2020. I hope it won't be something that's stretched on for years.
So now we're going to move the ball with the penalty up to the 45-yard line of Ben Davis. And Miller's going to kick it off here. No, check that. That's is that 14? That is 14. Carson Holmer.
Yes.
Going to kick it off.
I've noticed Carson's becoming a big, first name in the last couple of generations.
Good kick into the end zone, touchback. We were talking about that. I can't remember. Oh, there's several professional golfers now named Cameron, and they're all of a certain age group.
Yeah.
And my dad and I were talking about this at the golf tournament last week. I said there must have been something in that, whatever it is. I think these guys are all between 23 and 27 years old. Where that was like Peyton around here was big for a long time.
Yeah. The first few years I commentated, lots of kids named Peyton. And another one is I noticed a very high number of quarterbacks named Drew. I don't know what it is about that name that brings people to the quarterback position. Handoff there.
Short gain.
Martin, the ball carrier for the Giants there. Looks like that's Drew Martin. He's a junior for the Giants, 5'9", 160. His first carry of the game.
Give ahead, short gain on the play.
Give it to Martin again, so he gets it twice in a row. 7:56 to go and counting. So he gets 5 on that one. So nice start there for Martin. 2 rushes for 9 yards on this possession. And now high snap, and Patterson takes it up. He's got the first down and more. It looks like he's about 5 or 6. So Patterson shaking off that interception that was returned for a touchdown, the backup quarterback. Give him credit for 7 on that.
Snap is high, pulls it down, rolling right side, rolling, throwing on the run. It's incomplete. On the far side of the field. Clock will continue to run. 7:03 left to go in the ball game.
Clock, under 7 minutes now. 9:17 your time of day. So game 6:52 to go on the clock. We're currently playing with the running clock. So hopefully we won't have any more interruptions. Avon on the way to a huge first win of the season. Last week they lost by 28, but right now they're winning by 48. So a huge turnaround. And the main thing, and now as Patterson rushes over to the right side, he's got some room here, and he's got the first down and more past the 50 up to about the 45. So nice run there by Chris Patterson, the backup quarterback, a junior. Picked up about 18 or 19 there. So he gets an 18-yard game. So I've got Patterson now 3 for 25 on the ground. But, yeah, the main thing you got to feel good about if you're Avon is, first of all, that now a screen pass complete there for about a 4-yard gain onto the right side. Patterson's first completion tonight. The reception there by number 11, Reese Hardesty, also a junior. They give him credit for 4 on that one. Correction, that's Donovan Troutman. They give it to Martin there.
Well, this is pretty much an A-plus performance from Avon, Leck. I mean, again, coming off that tough loss week 1, you kind of say, what kind of team do we have? More importantly, what kind of defense do we have? And the defense has responded that you got a good one.
Yeah, and it's important to remember, and hold that thought.
Short gain on the play should be enough for a first down. It looks like they're going to, let's see. Yep, there you go. As the pass there on the far side of the field. 4:45 left to go. As our clock continues to wind here, I want to make sure we get it one final time. One last sponsor here we need to mention. Supporting Avon Athletics for over 20 years, Steve and Debbie Larkin and their family are proud to be Avon alumni. Everyone at Larkin Collision wishes the Avon Orioles good luck. And that pass is incomplete.
So actually, Patterson throwing 5. One thing I feel bad for. I feel bad for backup quarterbacks when they're put into the game and they do nothing but handoffs. I'm glad that they're giving him a chance to get some real game passes there. That's important experience. So hopefully that'll benefit that young man down the road. And now he rushes, and he's got some room here. He's got a first down and more, and he's got some room on the left side. He could go all the way, yes. Inside the 15. Now he jumps over a defender, gets into about the 8. So Patterson scrambles his way up for about a 31-yard gain.
And it's so nice in a game like this, you can get all the kids involved in the game, and that's always a nice thing. But especially this year, Leck, because these kids have worked hard like they always do, but they've had to take all these extra steps. The parents have had to do all these things.
Yeah.
And so it's just really wonderful that they're able to get all of these kids into the ball games.
Yeah, Patterson, by the way, now he carries 54 yards. Now I know he's got some room here, and he's inside the I thought he was going to get it. He's down to about the 1 or 2.
He almost looked like he stopped running there, like he was faking everybody out that they thought the play was dead or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that did look odd.
So very likely going to be the last possession of the game for Ben Davis, especially with the running clock.
Yeah, so. And this would, by the way, this would be Ben Davis's first offensive score of the game. And now a handoff.
Go to quarterback keeper.
No, he faked the handoff, and Patterson got it, yes. So Chris Patterson finishing the game very strong for the for the Giants. 6 rushes, 64 yards, and now 1 touchdown. Coming with 2:37 to go in the game. So Patterson may be earning himself some more varsity time in the near future as the extra point is up and good.
2:37 remaining in the fourth quarter. Avon 54, Ben Davis 13.
But yeah, Rob, now that we've got a break in the action, I'll try to recap what I was going to say. The 28-point loss was rough, and I think there's 2 things to consider. One is Lawrence North, because in recent years they've usually only been about the 6th best team in the MIC. They usually don't have a real good record. a lot of people overlook that even sometimes the fifth or sixth best teams in the MIC are pretty darn good teams.
Right.
You know, that would be dominant teams in most conferences, even conferences comprised of 5A and 6A teams. Number two, I'm not going to whitewash the 62 points. That's a disappointment no matter how you look at it. But, you know, the offense still played very, very well. It's just that they were put in a situation where they got behind early and had no margin for error. Now, obviously, the big thing that you want to improve, they gave up 9.7 yards per rush against Lawrence North. So you wanted to improve that, and they improved that a lot this week. So when you're a fan of a team, I think one of the most important things, when they do something badly in one game and you see that they've made a big improvement in it over the next game, that's always encouraging. So hopefully, you know, when they look back, you know, at the end of the season, hopefully, which will include several postseason wins, several tournament wins, they'll look at, you know, they'll look at that Lawrence North game and think, you know, that game, that was tough to lose that way. You know, it was embarrassing, but, you know, it made us better. And I draw a parallel. You go back to the 1983 University of Miami team. They lost their first game of the season, I believe, to Florida State, 31-3, and they were coached by Howard Schnellenberger. And then, you know, they came back strong. They went out the rest of the way and won the Orange Bowl over Nebraska to win the national championship.
It's a live ball. It's picked up by Avon. It bounced around a couple times, but Avon got it.
So, you know, and I've been saying it, you know, a lot the last few days. It's better to, you know, lose early and fix what's wrong than to keep winning and ignore what's wrong and then lose in the tournament. Last year, Avon, they did win. They won all their regular season games, finished the season. They were ranked number one the last 8 AP polls, but then it was all destroyed in one game when they lost to Brownsburg in the first round of the tournament. And had they lost one of those 2 games that they won by 3 points late in the season against Westfield and Zionsville, I really believe that it would have straightened the team out. They would have figured out what they needed to polish off. But I think being undefeated, they felt that they were always going to win. And they learned a tough lesson. They returned most of those guys this year, and I think they're going to make a deep tournament run this year. I mean, granted, you know, they could run into Brownsburg in the first round of the sectional news again, but I think they're going to, if they do run into Brownsburg in the tournament, they're going to go into it, you know, a lot more focused this time and determined to get over the hump and redeem themselves from that disappointment of last year, because last year they did have a potential state championship team. This year they do too. I mean, there's a reason that even after losing by 28 points, they're still ranked number 9 in the state. People know they're still a great team. And now, 56 seconds to go. And who was that? Got a new guy there on the carry. I couldn't see it from my vantage
Like number
point.
8, maybe.
Number 8, okay, that would be Aiden Chavis.
Nope, sorry. 34, I think.
34, okay, Dalen Ziegler. He's a junior, 5'7", 175. 34 seconds to go. This is likely the last play of the game here. Well, player of the game, no doubt in my mind, Henry Hessen completed 15 of 20 passes, 280 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Although also honorable mention goes to Krishawn McCray, who had 3 touchdowns, and Joe Hall, who had 2.
Well, that is going to do it. Putting the final, sorry about that. For those of you who saw the camera move there, that's going to do it. Putting the final touches on tonight's victory. And a little bit different than in years past. It'd be interesting to see how they do this handshake here. I know they're not going to shake hands, but let's see what they do here. We'll keep a camera on this.
Well, anyway, you know, I'm really thankful to the several hundred fans who showed up. They brought a lot of energy. What we lacked for in numbers, we made up for in quantity. They brought a lot of enthusiasm. They cheered loudly for the kids. That was great. To all of you who stayed at home for whatever reason, for health or safety or just for distance, you know, maybe you live far away, we're honored to have you, and thanks so much to our sponsors. And I'll tell you, this is my 94th game as a high school football commentator, and I've never been more thankful to commentate than I am today, because this, the last few off seasons, like I knew I was going to commentate somewhere this year, but this summer I just kept on wondering, am I going to get to do it? So.
All right, so that is in the book, so that's how we're going to hand it. They just waved at each other. Have a good night. All right, which makes sense. So, again, your final score, 54-13. Avon victorious over Ben Davis. Avon moves to 1-1. Ben Davis drops to 0-2. And we will be back here next week as the Avon Orioles begin Hoosier Crossroads Conference play against Hamilton Southeastern. Lex, I want to thank you so much for doing a great job as always.
Oh, thanks. It was great to be here. Great win for Avon. Third consecutive win over Ben Davis. The biggest margin yet, 41 points. And it's a great way to recover from last week's loss at Lawrence North. And it's a reminder, this team, if they stay focused, do what they did tonight, cut down on the penalties. That was their one blotch tonight, too many penalties in the first half. But if they improve as much every week as they did from last week to this week, they can still make a very deep tournament run and get that elusive state championship. All
right, so we will be back here next week bringing you the Hamilton Southeastern Royals taking on the Avon Orioles. Big game. We'll start about 6:30 as we did last week. Get you the dance team, have the pregame show, and we'll be ready to roll. I want to thank, again, Brad Holsinger, Lance Larkey, the entire athletic staff here at Avon High School. Thank the entire Avon Community School Corporation. And want to thank you at home for watching and listening and being a part of it with us as well. Thanks to Leck for all the aforementioned. My name's Rob Kendall. You've been listening to Avon Football.